Welcome, SASANs, to this week's video of SASANs and Dragons, our house rule infested home game of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I am Magnus Beasticus, your dungeon master for the evening, and what we're doing this week is what we've done many weeks before. We are giving away something to a lucky individual who provides feedback, valuable feedback in the comment section below, and shares our video. We are just going to trust that you shared our video, and we will base this purely off of the feedback that you give in the comment section. Say it with me now, SASANs. Who's that giveaway? Can you customize the amount that you put on an Amazon card? Like, can it be like $23.5?
I don't know.
An Amazon gift card for at least $20. This is possibly going to be a 3-hour episode, so let's pay the minimum wage. What is minimum wage? What's the average minimum wage?
Depends.
We'll do $10 an hour. So
Pretty decent.
And it'll be very accurate. Based off of that. Anyway, we've got some lovely players with us here today. Let's go ahead and roll their character introductions.
I'm Thunky Beerbot, and don't let my facial hair fool you. I am a female mountain dwarf druid. I come from a long line of beer brewers, hence the name Beerbot. I had a mostly normal upbringing in the mountains of northern Melibrius, and I've always had an affinity towards animals, not so much the ruling races. I have many fond childhood memories of wandering the local forests in search of new furry friends. Eventually, on the advice of my parents, I enrolled in druidic studies and began honing my spellcasting abilities. My instructor, Elder Dalbrook, was a highly logical man and taught me my most important life lesson, that even though nature is beautiful, it cannot exist without chaos. There isn't a day that goes by that I do not repeat that message to myself. I understand that not all beasts can be tamed, and sometimes I will have to battle one. I don't like to admit it, but this happens more often with my new family, Oren's Obliterate. But I will stop at nothing to ensure their safety, and I may cause some chaos in the process.
If you were to gaze upon the mysterious property of Orenbelle's finest artificer, you would find a very large mansion met by a garden with superbly sculpted shrubbery. At any given time, there is but only one worker which may be found on these grounds. And why, that is me, Crow. I am one of Master Cumentus's many creations. The majority of my being is made up of organic, plant-like material. The rest is mechanical. There are many duties for which I was created for, some of which include cooking, cleaning, obtaining materials and ingredients, assisting with laboratory duties, removing trespassers from the property, acting as the master's personal bodyguard when in town, and closest friend, always. These may be some of my regular duties, though Master Cumentus mentioned that I am fully loaded with great purpose and grand potential. I have yet to discover the meaning behind those words. Maybe he was referencing the inaccessible areas of my internal systems. Or maybe he was just trying to make me feel better about my self-realized lack of greater purpose in this world. Or maybe it is a metaphor for the many journeys he planned for us. Either way, I seek to discover the true potential of my being.
Hello. I am Varkir Invictari. I am an Aasimar of the clan Invictari at Barathor's Reach. To explain more about myself, I must first explain the world we live in, full of angels and monsters that toy with mortal lives like cheap coins. I sought out to rid us of the need to constantly appease these beings of considerable power. Even if all the world is my enemy, they will thank me when the work is done, for I believe in the strength of my fellow mortal. We have turned the tides of battle with nothing but one act that has spiraled out to a glory that is yet to be rivaled in this day and age. Kalinor, my right hand, my sword and shield. Otero, my left, my bow. All the others were dear to me, just as my mother and father. The angel that speaks to me in my dreams warns me of the dangers of what I do. But I know my path is virtuous, though I cannot do the same for the company I now find myself with. They may represent the truest of dangers, or the brightest of futures. Time will tell.
My name is Herchek Bane. I am from the clan the Frenzied Bear, whose home is at the northeastern part of the Shattered Peaks. Growing up, I was split between two tribes, fighting over the land we both tried to call our own. My tribe's battle mentality was of pure carnage during warring, praising an unknown entity that I personally detested. My father, Urkhelm Bane, was fourth in line to be chieftain, known in the tribe to be a fierce warrior on the battlefield, and to have saved many lives in combat over the ages. He has but one mighty secret, which is where I come in. Born from a forbidden love with a mighty warrior woman from the clan the Roaring Tempest, my tribe's rivals. My mother, Rakir Stormwill, the Roaring Tempest. She was a brutal warrior on the battlefield and a kind priestess to those in need. Her deity, Regentia, as a weapon as well as her shield, is the goddess I now follow. After years of secrecy, I could no longer hold back my rage. During a battle with a fellow clansman, I unleashed my storm-bound fury. Luckily, through the deeds of my father and the tribe, I was not sentenced to death on the spot. I was, though, cast out from my clan, exiled, never to return or show my face around them. My title in the clan removed from me. One day I will return to my homeland and take over my clan to show them that there can be peace amongst all tribes. Unity is what I seek for the Goliath race, and I will achieve that goal, even if it takes my life.
Alright. When last we left the heroes of Oren's Obliterate, they were on their way to Bresh, hauling a great many supplies meant to aid the city of many paths and amend their broken relationship. They ended up losing everything before making it to the Orbit Gate, though they found an ally in Aldos Dashing, the captain of the Orbiteers, who had gifted them a rare red feather, said to bring one back from the clutches of death itself. An item they may have needed sooner rather than later, as that very night Oren's Obliterate was visited by an old acquaintance, who tried to kill everyone with a mysterious glowing green dagger. Herchek cut the interloper in half, Varkir picked up the dagger, felt some dark going-ons with it, and put it away for future inspection. That same night, Varkir received an interesting letter from an unknown source, thanking them for ridding the world of Cleopatra and mentioning their elation at knowing that Oren's Obliterate was on their way to Bresh. We pick up now the next morning. Just outside of the Orbit Gate, the caravan has been forsaken in lieu of expediency. Thunkies performed her newly acquired forest magic, turning our heroes and Carnigal into fast-moving puffs of wind. Hovering but meters above Orbit Gate, how would you all like to proceed? Something to know about the state that you are currently in is that you cannot speak to each other. Unless you have an ability that lets you telepathically communicate, you are just sort of a collection of odd clouds currently hovering above the gate, the eastern gate of Orbit Gate. You travel at 300 feet per
Minute?
6 seconds. You can dash, and you can spend your turn not being a cloud, but it takes about a minute. Or sorry, you can spend 60 seconds to assume your normal self again, and then in the span of 8 hours, you can do that as many times as you like. It originally was going to take 2 days from this gate to get to Bresh's gates on foot or horse or sprinterhawk. Now it will take 1 session, pretty much. You will arrive with a little bit of time to spare should you desire, and you can take many different ways to get there because you can effectively fly. So are you still going on the ground, zipping through trees? Do you want to be above the tree line, the green tree line, about 40 feet in the air? Or do you want to climb up over the Ragnar Mountains and sort of descend upon Bresh, which would actually take longer than one session of Windwalk? Got a few options.
When you say session, so
8 hours.
obviously it's not gonna. We're gonna get there within like the next 5 minutes, real time.
That's an assumption. Anything can happen as a cloud or as a piece of meat. Or wood. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I can't talk as a cloud, so I'm just gonna see if somebody else moves forward in the direction of Bresh.
I go above the tree line.
And just start taking off?
Like a normal
I'll
cloud.
be like a bird and like following suit.
Okay. Okay. You see two nondescript clouds traveling forward.
I'm gonna be.
Make like a cloud arm, and can I do like cloud motions, gestures?
Maybe you can like wiggle the tail end of the cloud.
I was trying to do something useful.
A cloud arm?
Yeah, like a follow us gesture.
Roll a performance check
Like in like.
to see like
Daffy
how
Duck or
well you
something.
can control your
Ooh.
current state.
Natural one.
You dissipate a little bit and actually lose some of your cloud mass and become even harder to see. As you sort of like you see your cloud shape shuffle around a little bit and then just like start to steam and evaporate some of your form. So
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna turn around and just follow the other cloud in front of me.
okay, 2 clouds, 3 clouds. Carnival's following them as well. What are you guys doing, Herchek? Yeah.
Just falling right above the tree line.
Okay, following with them.
I'm probably just gonna go as high as I can, and then just beeline it to Bresh as fast as I can.
Yeah.
So you
time to time, I'm gonna dip down.
as high as you can is like, as I said, it will take more than 8 hours of even cloud speed to get over the Gragnar Mountains and then descend upon Bresh. So it'd be like, if you still want to be a cloud, you'd have to like make camp at the top of the mountain and then descend upon Bresh. If you want to just follow the normal path, you could get there in 8 hours.
But didn't say I wanted to go. I just want to go as high as I can, and then as fast as I can. I'm not trying to go above the mountains or anything. Just like.
Okay, sorry. In my mind, going as high as you can and beelining it to Bresh is going above the mountains. There is no beelining it to Bresh if you don't go over the mountains.
Oh, we're in a forest right now.
You're in a forest, but the forest it's about a day's journey on foot. Then the mountains, the opposing mountains that the forest is in, converge into a valley going north, which is taking a left, and then visibility disappears into the black mountainscape.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going above everything, and then just beelining it over everything, not following any windy path. I'm just going straight.
So
And then-
you cannot beeline it unless you go over the mountains, Varkia. Is
I
what I'm
thought the
trying to
mountains
say.
were like a little ways in front of us. You said like
The mountains are a little ways in front of you,
Yeah.
but if you wanted
So I
to just go straight to
beeline
Bresh...
to the mountains, basically.
Oh, okay, so you want to beeline to
That's-
the valley.
Yeah,
So you're okay, then you're following them. Because they're doing the same thing.
but I'm higher than them.
Okay, Farkir, you are higher than them. Okay, you guys are all zipping relatively together, skirting above the trees. Those of you who are a little bit lower, the wind that you are creating.
If I see something, I'm gonna stop. A cloud halt.
If you see what?
See,
Crow
Crow just stops.
He saw a
threatening
bird in a tree.
Figures or activity.
Okay, skirting above the tree line, you can hear sort of like the pressing of leaves down and the shuffling of leaves as the wind that you're creating is just blasting through the forest air. About an hour goes by as you guys are traveling together, and another hour goes by, and the mountains are starting to converge on each other to create the black valley that you were ambushed in before. Just before you enter that area, about halfway through your travel, you see you now recognize what was the campsite that you camped in before, and just above that campsite, in the top of one of the trees with the head poking out, is a red-furred bear that's just staring at your clouds as you pass by him.
I keep going.
Okay. You don't stop?
Nope.
You getting closer to the mountains, you start to notice that there are a few different creatures sort of hopping up the mountain. They are a different species of sprinter hawk. You can see the feathers. Their wings are smaller. They're not meant for flying. Their legs are thicker and larger to accommodate their ability to just like leap up these mountains. And they actually have ram horns as well, with a bit sharper beaks. Yeah. Some are also just like perched up, also looking at you guys past them. They call this the Black Valley because it's so the cliff sides on either side are so sheer that there's barely any sunlight unless it's about noon. I'd say it's about 2 o'clock right now for you guys, equivalent time. And so it's still black in this valley. You are sort of wafting through, and you pass by the battle scene that where you guys were ambushed previously. And just around the corner, as you're weaving in and out of these valleys for a few hours, lies or is revealed the city of Bresh as the two converging mountains that make this valley sort of spread apart from one another again and reveal the bridge leading to Bresh that crosses the massive chasm in between you and the city of many paths. You notice that there is more security around Bresh this time. The gates are closed. There are more guards. There is actually a line of different caravans and merchants leading into the city. Guards are inspecting everything that everybody is bringing in. The typical white stone of Bresh with the green foliage sort of spilling over the top in a very Aztec sort of architecture. There's just like diagonal lines leading up and multiple layers ascending. And you notice that among the whites and the greens, there's a new color sort of dappled throughout Bresh. You guys are all still pretty high?
Yeah.
You can just see into the sort of the streets from your position higher than the wall is, and you notice red sort of percolated throughout Bresh now, whereas it was not before. You look a little bit closer, and there are individuals walking with, it's not red, it's actually about copper, like a deep copper armor, and you had not seen them previously. These are not the typical sort of guards or guardians of Bresh. And you start to see on the roofs, these soldiers, they look to be, are sort of walking different patrols. And what would you guys like to do? All of the entrances that you guys can see are of this similar nature, going in and out of Bresh, are heavily secured.
I would like to descend into like the tree line right outside the gates and transform.
How long has it been?
It is, you guys have maybe about a half an hour left of cloudiness.
Well, I kind of can't communicate, so I'm going to follow the other cloud wherever it's going.
Yeah. And you can see the there are less. They're still sort of like the very intricate, large animals, sort of trouncing around, carrying cargo, being beasts of burden, going throughout Bresh. There's an absence of the sprinter hawks that you normally saw sort of like jump over the roofs of Bresh as well. The city seems almost, it seems less lively at this point.
But before I descend completely down, while I have an aerial vantage point on Brush, I'd like to roll a perception check to look for just any other activity other than the entrances and exits being guarded and general just loom over the area.
Okay,
Loom.
go ahead and roll a perception check. Four. It's hard to make sense of everything going on. There's just too much scenery going on in Bresh now. A lot has changed. It's hard to discern sort of like one difference from the others. It's sensory overload, and there's a... This is your first time to Bresh as well, Crow. So nothing has changed. It's just completely different. There's too much to take in right now that is new to you. Yeah, that's about it. Anybody else doing anything?
Yeah, with like 20 minutes, I just want to scout out inside of Fresh. I want to get close enough to the guards, see if they have any symbol, icon on their armor or banners, and then I want to see if there's anything on the walls, like wanted posters.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
10.
And how are you doing this? Are you on the perimeter of Bresh, or are you sticking on the other side on the
Going in it.
approaching side of? You're going in Bresh.
Like I'm going wickedly above the walls, kind of out of sight of the guards that are on the roofs and stuff, and I'm just going straight into it.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Would this be at advantage since I'm a cloud?
Yeah.
A wispy cloud. 12.
But there's also a huge press of wind pushing down this canyon, so it's hard to. And there's currently no like collection of clouds. You are a singular moving cloud in this area, so you have to move slowly and naturally as best as you can. With a 10.
11.
11.
All right, no, 12. So 12.
11
11 with a +1.
You start to approach Bresh. You're over the chasm right now, using most of your wind energy to sort of keep you stable as you're approaching through the gust of wind. And you notice that you see one of the copper-clad figures on the roofs, partnered with another figure with a hooded figure with copper trim on a black robe. And the hooded figure, you see, points up to this flock of birds flying around, and you see the copper armored figure pull out their bow, draw it, and the hooded figure puts his two fingers to the tip of the arrow, and you see the burst of white energy sort of like spinning around the tip of the arrow, and he looses it. You see it soar into the flock, hitting what looks to be a particularly hardy bird, and as it impacts the bird just turns into a much larger, insidious-looking like creature and falls from the sky with these small shriveled limbs and like this huge this very long, matted, almost like dreaded bit of what you think looks like hair. It looks like a collection of blankets falling into the city now, as it's just like, and it burns away. And you see the hooded figure that enchanted the arrow sort of like nod to the archer, and they start scanning the skies. And another hooded figure on a wall closest to you, you notice that they're in pairs now, sort of like points in your general direction, and the copper-cladded figure with the bow looks in your direction and starts pulling his bow back.
Okay.
Keep him going.
Yeah.
Probably good.
Okay. The same white energy. I'm sorry, that's nothing. Okay, that's the same white energy swirls around the arrowhead. He eyes up the target, and you now notice that he is aiming directly at you, and you just see this like flash of white light, and then this sliver comes shooting in your direction. And as it impacts the first contact of wind, your vision comes to differently, and you see the arrow embedded in your chest as you are over the canyon of leading to Bresh, and you are now plummeting. You are arcing backwards and plummeting into the canyon. You're about halfway in between Oren's Obliterate side and Bresh's side, and the form of Herchek is now... Yes.
How far away?
If you guys took the tree line closer to Bresh, he's probably 150 meters.
And sorry, how far up?
How far up? If it was above the walls of Bresh, high above the walls of Bresh, I would say maybe 100 feet up.
100 feet above the wall itself, or from the ground?
And above, no, just 100 feet from where you guys are height-wise, and you see his gray-skinned form now just descending. He's past the bridge. What are you guys doing?
Is there, are we in sight of the archers that shot him, or is it like the wall in between us and him? Basically, like, can I scan the area to see if there's any...
He didn't make it over the wall.
Right, but you said the archers were, like, within Bresh.
Yes, yeah.
So, are there... I'm going to do a quick perception check to see if there are other, like, archers between us and him.
Okay,
or,
roll.
like, beyond him that could see us.
Roll for it. Roll a perception check.
Whoops. Oh, thank you.
What's going on?
11.
11. Yeah, you see, even on the wall itself, there are clad armored figures holding crossbows, bows. Some you see this weapons rack of javelins next to them.
Wait. All right, I'm gonna, as soon as we're in the tree line, transform back into crow form, and
Herchek is falling into the abyss now. He's past the bridge, and he's just falling. Now you can do something, Herchek, if you want. Anybody can do something, but this is actively happening right now. You are losing a teammate into the abyss.
How deep is the
I
abyss?
can't do
Is
anything.
this
100 feet away is
like
more than I
abyss?
can reach. More than I can do.
Am I conscious?
Did you turn out of the cloud?
No, that's a minute to turn into.
So you have 600 feet that you can move. You are conscious, yes.
What can I do if I turn into a cloud
How
next
far
to
away
it?
is the
I'll
ledge?
fall.
A ledge is about 100 meters away from you.
I'm taking the gauntlet and I'm using it.
Okay.
All 3 charges. I'm putting a holy on my hand to kind of like projectile me.
Are you releasing them all at the same time?
No, I was like,
Okay.
moves.
I'm gonna try to intercept him, and dive into. Well, if I think it's possible, I'm going to try and like get a running start and intercept him. I have what is it called, like feather fall or whatever. Slow fall.
Did you turn out of crow?
Yeah.
Remember, it takes a minute.
Oh God. Yes, it does.
You all are not going to be able to do literally anything.
Like
He's 100 feet away.
Featherfall will still kill you if you land.
Is there water nearby?
It just reduces.
Do I
there
see
water?
water, like a body of water?
This
There
is the bottomless
is-
chasm. So
The only water you see is
Well, it
spilling
doesn't matter anyway.
is flowing
okay,
down
I
the
guess
mountains,
that's
leading to
forming for a
Bresh,
minute.
through Bresh, and out of the side of Bresh into the abyss. You may assume that there is a river at the bottom of the abyss, but the last time you guys were here, you could find no hint of how far down this abyss went. Go ahead and roll a say this is coordination. This is going to be acrobatics. This is how well you can control yourself mid-air.
Can it be athletics?
No, unfortunately.
Am I completely incapacitated? Like, can't
No, you can move as a cloud, but you can't.
I already said I was gonna transform.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you sort of like peering through the bushes. You, Crow, you see
21.
now. There were a few archers on the side before, like 4 at different points on the wall before the wall sort of curved out of your sight, and now there's a collection of more. The guards outside of the gate on the ground in front of or by the bridge are now sort of like looking over the side, aiming their arrows at Herchek as you hear. What'd you get?
21.
21? Yeah, as below the bridge, you hear this, and this press of red light washes over the bottom of the bridge and your face, and you just see Herchek's body like jump, arc up into your view as you look over the edge. Now you see how far or how deep this abyss is for the first time, and they're going to be releasing arrows at you. Go ahead and roll another one as you have corrected your
Same thing.
your angle. Nice. As you've corrected your angle, stopped your fall, shot yourself into the air, gotten closer to the ledge where Crow is. Crow, you have an action right now, and then
I'm not incapacitated?
No, you're not incapacitated because you said that you turned out of a crow.
Yeah. Well, I can go back into... I thought you said it took me a minute to transform.
Into crow, yes.
So then I can just instantly go back into a cloud?
Oh no, you're
takes
trying
a
to be a
minute.
cloud? You
No.
I guess you wouldn't know the yeah. Are you I'm sorry. Okay, so what are you trying to do right now?
I was trying to turn back into crow form. And then you said I was incapacitated. But then you said I have an action. So I just need to know. Can I do something
You
or not?
corrected and said that you were turning into crow form since you guys arrived here. And Herchek said that he was going to spend 20 minutes checking the area, and so there was enough time.
Okay.
I will allow you being crow in this instance, but you cannot turn
I'd
back
like
into
to
a cloud.
stealth and try to intercept him where he's going to land.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
So wait, are there like waterfalls of water coming out of the side?
There are.
I would like to cast Control Water on it, and I would like to redirect flow of one of those waterfalls.
Okay, right now we are in an order
18.
of initiative. Bresh's turn is now. Then it's yours, Thunky. Then it's yours. Or sorry. Then it'll be Crow's because you're already preparing for this. Then it'll be Thunky's. Then Herchek and Barkir. So you see the swarm now of arrows. Just you hear, and you see one magical blue orb fly in your direction as well, sort of like in between the mass of all of these arrows, enchanting the arrows and making them just highlight in this blue energy as opposed to the white. And you burst yourself up, making most of the arrows miss you, but one clips you in your leg, and you take... you take 4 points of piercing damage. Crow, you're up.
If I think that he's coming in so hot that I'd have to try and catch him to save him from impacting and dying, then I will do so. But otherwise, if I think he'll land on his own, I'd like to just get in front of him and prepare deflect missiles.
Okay. Thunky, you're up.
I would like to cast Redirect Flow on one of those waterfalls, so if it's falling like this, can I just instead make it go completely this way? It says that it could go over obstacles, up walls, or in other unlikely directions.
If it can go up walls, then yeah, sure, that's totally
Okay.
fine. Is there is there a specific distance? Because the wall is quite a far.
It says range area is 300 feet. So I'm not exactly sure. Does that mean I can cast this if I see water 300 feet away?
It's a bit too far. It's almost double that distance.
Well, then never mind. I thought he was only 100 feet away.
Herchek is, but he's getting ever closer as he's just like bouncing and arcing. Herchek is getting closer. He's about 100 feet to your sort of shore. The opposite shore has the water falling, and that's about 600 feet.
In that case, I have nothing.
I mean, you have shape change, but oh no, you don't because you're still. Did you say you turned out of the cloud?
Yeah, I can do that. Never mind, I forgot. Hold
She
on a
did.
second.
That was one of the first things. You said go
okay.
into the tree line and then...
She did say into the tree line. I
turning-
don't think she said she turned back though. Did she?
Yeah,
No, she
I
did.
did.
Oh, okay.
I'm going
Sorry.
to wild shape into a Cloudtail.
Okay.
And I'm flying over there immediately. Oh wait, no, that's one action.
The wild shaping is an action. Flying is not an action. That's
In that case, I fly over there to pick him up. Swoop in.
okay. Picking him up would be an action.
Okay, fine. I swoop over there.
You can just get under me.
Yeah. I'll like fly under there.
Okay. Sort of like you hear the crunch and the snapping of twigs and the pushing of bushes before white fur just leaps out over the edge and jumps and just sort of dives down and holds a steady position under Herchek. Herchek, roll another, as the ledge is just within view, roll another acrobatics check. It's hard to get after that last blast. It sent you in an awkward angle, and it's hard with the wind passing by you in your body so I'm sorry. It's hard to orient yourself as you currently are, as you're spinning mid-air. You try and push your hand out in front of you and try and gauge where you're going to spin, or like an accurate portion of where you should release the blast while you're spinning, and it just sends you even farther down. Crow, you see Herchek go from above the ledge to this large red explosion, and he's just arcing out down. Roll 3 dexterity saving throws as well. And damage.
Okay, so first one was 19, natural 20.
No, these dexterity saving throws are not at advantage. Oh, yeah, they are. I'm sorry, they are. Natural 20, okay.
So then 19, 20 not natural, then natural 20, and then 19.
Oh, wow, all of them, yeah, no damage. Somehow still managing to guard yourself against the inferno surrounding you. You are down below the edge, flying some layers of smoke are spiraling off of you, and another volley is going to blast at you. I'll say you can do something else to try and prevent some of these from hitting him.
Aren't I on the ledge above him?
Yeah, but you have distance.
Would I have to jump off in order to try and deflect?
No, I'm saying like you can try and throw something there. You may have other things depending on how you
to
think.
try and help him.
Yeah. So another volley shoots after you, and
I'll try and prepare like a rope to like toss out. I'll hold on to the other end. If he's within range, like 30 feet of me.
Okay.
And I'll try to like skirt the
More so, I'm
edge.
saying think about what you're going to do. The guards or the soldiers' turn is up now, and you start to hear this, and the doors, as they were about to welcome a merchant in, slam shut again, and you see more and more guards come out over the edge. Another volley gets loosed at you, Herchek. You can't even tell where these are coming from. Only 3 of them out of the horde.
Where am I at in regards to literally everything in elevation?
You're below everything.
How are they shooting me? I'm below.
Okay. Here's your guys' side.
Yeah.
Here's Bresh.
Yeah.
Here's the bridge crossing.
Yeah.
You're right here.
Got
They're
it.
over
Got
here.
it.
There's a wall. They can look down at you
Got
and
it.
fire. So they're
How far?
firing
away
a volley.
from
700 feet?
I'll just-
600 feet.
That's
Yeah, these are and
Is he
you.
just quick, just to further orient us with his position, is he like close to.
Yeah, he's
wall?
close to
So he's
your
along
side's
our
wall.
wall, but below it.
Yes,
And how far below the ledge?
it's like 20 feet at this point.
Okay, great.
So three of the arrows, a lot of these arrows are actually coming towards you anyway, Crow. So you're going to have to block them as they're covering a large surface area around the entire vicinity of her check. As your the arrows snap off of hitting the stone just under you. Yeah, what are you doing? I'm sorry, did I already say you take 21 points of collected piercing damage from 3 more arrows inserting themselves in your pelvis is super painful. One gets right into your bicep as you try and hold the gauntlet out once more, and you just wince in excruciating pain.
Do any of the arrows actually hit me? Like, that would determine what I do.
Actually, I would say oh yeah, I'll do it.
Not like hit me, but are any of them coming?
What's your armor class?
For me? 19.
Yeah, about. It's only about 2 of the arrows are coming right at you.
I'd like to use deflect missiles then.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Is that a react? Oh, that is a reaction.
So I have to roll just a d20 to figure out whether or not I do it?
Yes.
So I've never deflected a missile.
You can use D&D Beyond too.
I see it right here. It says you use your reaction to deflect or catch missiles, or the missile. So I guess I can only do this to one of them. When you are hit by a ranged weapon attack, when you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced to 1d10 plus 4 plus 7. If you reduce damage to 0 and have a free hand, you can spend 1 key point to make a ranged attack with the arrow. Honestly,
Okay, 6 points of piercing damage. So what do you roll?
If he rerolls a d10, if he gets more than 6, he reduces it to 0, then he can throw it back.
Oh,
if he
cool.
wants to
Okay,
spend a
yeah.
point.
Roll a d10. Beat 6.
And whatever you get reduces the damage by that much. And if you reduce it to 0, you get to throw it back.
14.
You
It
just
says I add 4 and 7. And I rolled a 2.
you hold out your 2 fingers and just snap them shut as you have caught the fletching of the arrow, and it's like the point of it is right at your head. And another arrow hits your shoulder, and you take 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay, and that's my reaction, so I get to move now? Or
Yes, now you have your turn.
Okay, so I'd like to quickly get out my rope and yell down to Herchek, take the rope! And I'm gonna like throw it out to him, and yeah, I don't know how this works with like actions and whatnot, but if I don't think that he'll grab it, can I try and jump off and like use my weapon to like slam it into the wall?
Throwing the rope down would be your action.
Okay.
Like setting him up to grab it is your action.
Do I add anything to that?
Yeah. You don't have to roll to throw a rope down. Unless you're trying to
like the effectiveness of my throw.
Sure, yeah. Winds it up. What'd you roll?
12.
It gets in the general region. You just like throw it off, it lops down, and you're just like continually providing more as quickly as you can. Like slapped the rock edge and.
How do we determine whether or not it catches it?
Donkey is up. The rope is just there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna swoop in and try to pick him up on my back.
Okay, easy and well, no, you roll a dexterity check as well.
A 6.
Her check, roll a dexterity saving throw. No, not an advantage.
12.
You, the rope actually slaps you in the face as you're going up to get her check, and you wince really quickly, which is just the perfectly awful time to do so. And her check's shoulder just slams into your shoulder and falls down, and you feel his, if you want to, just like a very strong grasp, just like sliding down your hind leg, and finally gaining purchase on your back left ankle.
Okay.
And you are currently sinking. Yeah.
Can I try to do like, well, I don't know. Did my action already pass then?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Can I still try to fly?
Yeah, you have movement.
Okay. I'm gonna try to fly upwards.
Yeah, you have definitely enough to, as you hear the pulling back of another round of arrows, the siren, wherever that sound is coming from, is still going off, and you still hear the sort of readying of defenses, and you see one person like hoist up this large, what looks to be wooden rectangular shape, and another person sort of brings this large wooden bow in front of it and starts sort of like hammering it into place. And another person brings out this large, like 4.5 foot long, very thick arrow. Ballista is being prepared. Okay, you take her check. You can easily soar up the side of the mountain and make it back onto the ledge that you flew off of.
Oh, in that case, can I just like bomb straight into the bushes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I wild shape out of Cloudtail.
Okay. Her check, you're up.
Am I out of this danger now?
You plummet onto a grassy patch with some bushes and just barely cover. There's no way that you're under any impression that nobody knows where you are, but you don't currently have line of sight to brush. You're in thick brush.
Did I see anything that I had asked for previously?
No, you didn't.
Didn't see anything.
Nope. You saw the fact that there was a duo of whoever they were, that they're just groupings and pairs on the skyline of Bresh, pretty much.
Just city's dangerous. Couldn't say anything. Went for some recon. Wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I would say so.
And Carnigal is he poofs out of his smoke right now, and he says, "We'd better get out of here now. They are preparing something big." And you see another set of ballista being prepared, and you see a guy adorned in much more copper than anybody else. A copper helmet, copper shoulder pads, almost like full copper plate on the above the gate of Bresh, like pointing in your direction and looking over his shoulder at the different ballistas being set in place. And he holds up his hand. And Carnigal goes, "Now's the time. Where's Varkir? We need to get out of here and replan."
Varkir!
I'm still in cloud mode, but the next, like, in the bushes with everybody, I guess.
Oh yeah, he doesn't know that.
Can I go
Can
back
We
and... wait, no.
need to find another way in. Yeah, everybody. This is free action right now, but everybody has like one free action before what may be a volley gets sent in your direction.
I'm gonna run away from the
And
gate.
as
If I
soon as
can see them
Carnigal
all running
says
in the
that,
same
Thunky
direction.
just runs away, leaves the bushes back into the valley.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm running. Wait, back in like so.
back
backwards,
around
right?
the curving road that
Yeah.
the valley was. Yeah.
I'm gonna run in that direction too.
Okay. It'll take 2 turns to do so. Her check. What are you doing?
How far away is the ballista?
Are we? Sorry, is
The ballista is about 600, a little over 600 feet from you.
I run.
Okay. Everybody's running. Varkir, what are you up to?
I guess I'll float over to where they're going. Unless if I'm still in cloud form, I guess I'll just float over there. Yeah.
You are. It's there's not much time left in your cloud form. A few
I
minutes.
guess I'll just follow them around the corner again.
Okay. You hear. Bing, 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 bing.
Oh my god.
As you guys leave the brush, you hear slam come from behind you as dust and dirt patters on the ground in front of you and on your shoulders as you're running away. More ballistas are landing, disrupting the entire ground around you. Okay. Herchek, one ballista lands. What do you want to do? Right now, this is going to happen, and then after you can do something. One ballista.
I was gonna say if any ballistas come near us, I want to try to shoot it with lightning, with the red tempest axe.
Okay, that'll be your reaction as you turn around, thinking about the only form of offense and defense that you have right now, and you loose the chain of lightning, and you see it immediately connect to the tips of what are like 6 ballistas rushing. Not all of them are going to hit you. One is coming right at you. Go ahead and roll. Let's see. This is how we'll do this. Go ahead and roll. No, this will be. I'm going to do an opposing. I'm going to do an opposing damage check. So I'm going to roll the damage for it. If you roll the damage for that, you will destroy it before it meets you.
Okay.
What am I looking for? Aha!
$10 points.
You take 23 points of piercing damage as it passes by your arm, scrapes into your tricep, and impacts right beneath your armpit, and sends you sliding down on the ground 15 feet. Still holding out the red tempest and shocking, sending the pink lightning, shocking as many as you can. You do see some just corrode and break as they patter on the ground, but Crow, you also one of these gets impacted, or it slams into your back as you're running away. I'm rolling to see if they hit you guys. This is.
I can't try and deflect it as a.
He
reaction?
said that before I got.
But this is a reaction.
Oh, then yeah, of course.
You gotta be careful. Sometimes you can't reduce it to 0 no matter what.
Well, he got a 0.
21.
21. Okay.
Oh.
Not yet.
Was that 10?
Dang, you had 10.
Oh, jeez.
You had
that's...
11? Yeah, you had 10, but you had 11?
It's 10 plus 11.
21, you said? You turn around, and similar to her check, it catches you off guard, but you grab it as just before it impacts into your sternum, and you get down and try and get a lower center of gravity as you're being slid on the balls of your feet back 15 feet. And the spear that is in your hands effectively loses its force and momentum, and you find a state of equilibrium once more.
I'd like to grab it and keep running.
Okay, turning around. Thunky, one impacts underneath, like right behind you, sending a chunk of stone up underneath your feet that you're just pretty much like running off of and down. It missed you, thankfully. And Carnigal. You see Carnigal take one in the shoulder as well. It's just like there you hear the. No, you wouldn't hear the stretch of them loading again, but you do sort of see like the flash of gold armor as another hand is raised, and you guys there's one more volley of these coming as you guys are just about one more turn from rounding the corner together. Crow, you could leave everybody if you wanted to, really, and just be safe.
No, I'm gonna try to like run right behind somebody else so I can try and grab, like, toss the one that I'm holding and then grab another one if it is gonna impact. I'll say, Thunky.
You're what again? Is it?
So I'm like running behind Thunky as to like put me in between the next volley and Thunky.
Okay. Would it be unreasonable or not in your view if your legs are running forward and your body is turned backwards?
Okay, well, actually, wait, are we... Can I do something?
Sure.
I would like to call out to everyone around me, like, jump on! And then can I go back into Cloudtail?
You know that the Cloudtail won't be able to fit everybody.
How many people can I fit?
Two
Because he's a cloud.
Two people. Oh, he is a cloud, but there's Carnigal, Herchek,
Oh yeah,
Crow. And Carnigal...
Do we need Carnival? I'm just kidding.
Carnigal just says, do whatever you're going to do, and he jumps forward, both of his hands out. His hands detach and turn into ferrets, and the rest of his body sort of... the rest of his body also separates in a similar fashion as he almost like plops to the ground like Skittles and then starts...
He's the master of ferrets.
running
I
forward.
didn't know like that.
And they all sort of like spread out, and some go into bushes, some are climbing up the closest mountain. They're just like spreading out everywhere.
I'm gonna make a mental note to make sure I ask him to teach me that later.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna morph into Cloudtail after I say to you guys, like, get on!
Okay, that is your turn. Let's see. Check.
I think I only used my movement.
Jesus, what did you do to your arm?
Me?
Yeah.
Is there something crazy?
Underneath your wrist strap. It's like really red. It's like a bruise.
Oh, I messed myself up with the bow staff today.
If they're coming at us, I don't want to get on. But instead, I'm going to rage.
Okay.
I'm going to attack it with the Starlight Conqueror. I'm going to bat it away.
Okay, are you getting on, Crow?
Yeah, but like backwards.
What do you mean?
So like reverse
you're
saddle,
facing
whatever it's
backwards.
called. Yeah.
Okay, Herchek sort of like sliding on his, as he sees Thunky turn into the white Cloudtail, Herchek sort of like slides and pivots on his heels, readies his Starlight Conqueror or the Red Tempest?
Yeah, the Red Tempest. Boop.
Readies the Starlight Conqueror following in suit. Crow, you hop and spin around on top of the back of Thunky. I'll say they will roll it. You guys will have advantage on your offensive maneuvers, and you'll have advantage on evasive maneuvers. You guys don't even this heroically implied scene does not come to fulfillment because you guys have reached the distance. So like Herchek, you stand ready to go defend your allies as they are rushing away, and dirt and stone just flies forward as the large arrows are just impacting in a line right in front of you. And so it's just, oh, okay, I'm safe. As you can see, the trajectory of the others are not going to meet anywhere in front of where you guys are right now. And Thunky flies away with Crow, and you just sort of see the golden shape pace back and forth.
Can I try? I want to try something real quick.
Okay.
I want to kind of pick one of the bolts out of the ground.
Sure.
And what I want to do is I want to throw it up in the air, parallel to the ground, and then I want to use the Red Tempest axe to shoot a lightning bolt into the back of that bolt to kind of launch it back at them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. I would honestly either say a religion, an arcana, or like what would you find relevant for this? This is the mastery of your
I've never
sort
done
of
this
God-given
before.
powers.
For me,
And I would say it would be at disadvantage.
yeah, disadvantage. Probably, definitely acrobatics. Religion, probably religion.
Yeah, as you mutter a prayer to Regentia, sort of begging her for inspiration
Perfect.
this time. What'd you get?
18 and a 1.
You're trying to sort of like to think about it fundamentally in a different way as you're releasing your powers. Like, I have to be able to do something more. I can attack them right now. And you think about more of the magnetism involved, the electromagnetic energy in electrical energy, and you loose the Red Tempest's beam of coursing electrical energy into the metal point of the arrow, and you see the arrow hang in midair and then slowly arc towards you and get like a slingshot impales you as you felt the magnetic energy, and part of you was like, yes, yes, yes. And then you could not control it, and it just ended up coming straight back towards the Red Tempest, and you take...
I am raging at this point.
This is bullshit. You take 18 reduced to 9 points of piercing damage as it goes right into your sternum and is about 4 inches inside of your body. You feel the cracked bone. It's hard for you to breathe. The air is knocked out of you as you go back onto your knees and fall to the ground. The wood of the arrow sort of like prevents you from falling forward, and it takes you a second to sort of shake it off. Part of you is a bit excited because that is a feature that you've never messed with before, but another part of you is excited about the prospect of potentially mastering. Another part of you is worried because of how awful that ended up turning out and how difficult it seemed to actually grasp.
I rip out the bolt.
Yeah.
And I walk limpingly over to the group.
You see...
Probably apply some pressure.
You hear just the barely perceptible sound of large rocks moving, potentially the gate. A few seconds later, you see red streaks run out of the gate. Sprinter hawks are now running in your direction. There, you guys, what are you guys doing?
We're still running.
You're joining them.
Yep.
You guys are just continuing to go?
Yep.
Am I out of?
Yeah.
Are there any other side paths, or like, is there just one way, the windy road, or?
You do remember the almost secret path that you took to get the unknown jump on the ambushers before.
I wouldn't remember that, but
Oh, Crow didn't know that, but Thunky did take the path. Thunky is also a Cloudtail,
Okay.
so she can just skirt up
Yeah.
and take her check if she wanted, or if her check wanted. Varkir, you see this at a safe distance. Where are you located?
Is it? I said I was following everybody. I was probably going towards the same spot they were headed towards, but maybe got there a little faster. I guess.
So, are you still still high?
No, I would probably come down since the cloud spell's almost about to end, and then it would probably force me out.
Okay.
who'd you have?
All right. So, what are you guys doing?
I'd like to go up by her check and like slow down, like motion. Blast, just get on.
Getting on.
All right.
Do I see his cloud form, kind of?
Yeah, he's sort of he is around you guys, keeping a relatively safe distance from the radius of the ballistas.
If I'm a Cloudtail and he changes out of cloud form and falls onto my back, would it be like I can still fly but at a disadvantage?
I would have you make a strength saving throw, and you would have a detriment to your speed.
Okay.
Where are we right now?
You guys are at the opening to the Black Canyon. You can start to see like the shadow is right in front of you.
Is there any animals in this canyon I can
Roll a
see?
perception check.
Unfortunately, I think
So
I already
16?
took up my wild shapes.
16?
But you have 2, and you've used 2.
Yeah, he was saying like Unigoth maybe.
Oh, I see.
But I was
Okay.
like, nah, I can't.
I got a 16.
16. Yeah, there's some critters around. You see off into the distance, a few hundred feet up, sort of like the red imprint of one of the sprinter hawks that's just perched up there. There are a few rodents. You see a lot of ferrets running around, going into crevices and dark corners, and some are still just spilling into the shadow of the Black Valley.
So it's a red sprinter hawk, you said?
It is a red sprinter.
Is it a wild red sprinter hawk, pretty much?
It's reasonable to assume that it's wild.
Can I go up to that sprinter hawk and I guess am I still in cloud form?
You're still if you want to not be in cloud form, it'll take a minute.
How long will the cloud form take? When will it force me out of the cloud form?
You actually have no idea. No, there was no preface given to you before going into this form.
Whoops.
I guess I'll just transform out of cloud form, like near the bird, but in
So
stealth.
up, all right, or stealth.
Yeah.
Roll a stealth check.
Right.
There's one more turn before the sprinter hawks make it to your location.
So
You are
Five's going
flying.
upwards.
You're flying. You see Varkir's cloud navigate to a red sprinter hawk. You have you have Crow and Herchek, and then Carnigal is sort of like
Ferret man.
exactly.
So we can't just outrun them?
You can at this
Fine.
point. Yeah, you can. If that is your goal, just say that that's your goal, and then that'll be if there's like a specific location, or if you want to hide or get out of their sight, that's another thing. But they are aggressively pursuing. Like you see,
And how many?
how many are coming at you?
Sprinter hawks.
Roll a perception check.
Natural 20.
Wow. You see 6 coming after you. You see
know
6
exactly.
coming after you, but you see 6 coming after you, but the gates have not closed. You see people on the Bresh side of the bridge, like pushing and trying to organize the caravans to get back and go back over the bridge. And as the caravans sort of like spread out, you see much larger animals fill the gap of the entrance to Bresh. You can't quite put your you don't quite know what animals they are just yet, but you do see a sort of like secondary wave coming in your direction, or at least being prepared to. On the Sprinter Hawks coming after you, you see like saddlebags, you see sacks, you see like these people look prepped and ready to spend a long time outside of Bresh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to get out.
They're like the the non-friendly to Oren's Obliterate anyway, Orviteers.
Outrun them. Keep going. Faster.
I'm just trying to fly as fast as I can.
Okay. Yeah, and you go into the shadows of the Black Valley. You see Varkir spending his time. What'd you roll for stealth?
5, but I'm trying to make friends with this Sprinter Hawk, really, so I'm not trying to sneak up on it, jump on it. I'm just going to like land on it, not to startle it, just, hey.
Okay. 12 seconds into you turning into an Aasimar again, you see the red forms of the Sprinter Hawks round the valley's edges, around the valley's corners, and start sprinting through the Black Valley. You see 2 of the Sprinter Hawks start continuing along, sort of like deviate from the course and start running up the walls of the Black Canyon. Nowhere near to the level of prowess that the one that you imagine. The one that you're sneaking up on, that you imagine its level of prowess of hopping these up. So you can see like the feet are sort of like staggering, and they're still trying to sort of make their way up, but they do see you.
Okay. I'm like, oh.
You probably have 30 seconds before they get to you, which is not going to be enough. So you could take an
Wave at
attack or
them?
2.
Wait, was it?
You have a cloud hand.
What? I thought I turned back
12 seconds into turning into a cloud.
takes 1 minute to tank.
I thought I was turning out of a cloud.
I'm sorry.
it
I'm
takes
sorry.
1
You're
minute
right. Turning
running.
out of a cloud.
I know, but he said
Yeah.
turning into a cloud.
Thank you for correcting me.
Like, the whole time I heard it's like, no, I do it instantaneous.
Yes. So you have to be perfectly still as you try and concentrate and focus on your original form.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you guys sort of like, are you flying away or just through the valley? Are you going up, down? How are you hiding?
I mean, I'm not.
Or just
I'm not
outrunning
super
the-
sure what the immediate terrain looks like, but
Two very high valley walls are ascending up at a very sheer ascent, and the sun is in a direction where no sunlight gets into this valley. So it's very dark shadows in this valley. There's some light coming over the top. Of course, you can see the blue sky, but you guys just like sort of flew into darkness, and the Sprinter Hawks were running behind you. You are gaining clear speed on the Sprinter Hawks. You are running ahead of the Sprinter Hawks and gaining distance on them. If you wanted to continue running, it'd be no problem. But you sort of like, what is your destination as you pass Varkir?
do we surmise that they are still on us, or like we feel like we are within their?
You feel comfortable
eyesight?
that you can outrun them easily, but if you were to stop it, as I said, you got the feeling from what you saw that they will almost like aggressively pursue you.
But they don't know what direction we're in right now.
No, there's only one direction if you're in the valley. It's a valley, so it's like a narrow path that's sort of like sweeping back and forth on ground level, and it's like channeling everybody into one path. That it's at least a few hours' journey to get back to the evergreen forest.
Can I like swoop down and at least like with my talons like or claws pick up Varkir?
Varkir's smoke. Here he's wind.
Oh. That's right.
Monkey, keep flying. Stay low in the shadows. Try and stay towards the edge. So like, I know we're being channelized, but I don't want to be like out in the open on the path. I'd like to be butted up against the wall, or sorry, the hillside, or I don't know, the right wall of the valley, in the darkness on the right side, but not. How wide is the valley? I know we're being channelized, but
Valley's like 30 feet wide.
boy, as soon as you think that we have good distance on them,
I'm saying it's a thin, narrow valley. It's
fly up over the wall. So like we want to.
again.
I wanna go.
These are very high mountains as well. So it's if you want to fly up and over, it's going to take a significant amount of time.
I'd rather be in the mountains than in the valley right now.
Okay, are you doing this, Thunky?
Yeah.
Varkir, you see in front of you, sort of like arc up the slope of the canyon wall.
But only after we've gotten like significant distance on them, to where I don't want to be like oh look, there they are. Like I want to.
Oh, okay.
I want to wait until.
You see,
the
I'm sorry. You
forces
see
are
them just
in
disappear
the-
behind the curves, and you see the majority of the Sprinter Hawks continue after them as the two are still sort of like converging on your location. You did see that her check got shot as a cloud, so they're under no.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. Okay. They continually coming after you. We'll get to you guys later because you can sort of exit as easily as you want at this point. Anything else you're doing? Are you still focusing on it?
I'm still transforming.
Okay. 42 seconds. 3 rounds. Okay. You're just gonna hold this no matter what happens?
What? Hold this?
Hold getting out of cloud form and reassuming the Varkir's natural form.
Sure. Yeah. I mean.
Okay. The red sprinter hawk, slowly but surely, with the copper-clad individual on top, he brings out this broadsword.
How are they so fast, though?
What do you mean? How are they so fast?
I thought we were significantly ahead of them already, and they caught up in less time than anything I've ever seen.
It took you guys 2 turns to get around the.
Shouldn't taken me 2 turns if I can go 300 feet.
Yeah, but that sprinter hawk wasn't super far away. That was on the mountain cliff.
So shouldn't I just been like, whoop up, whoop, whoop, while they're still coming up to the spot?
You had mentioned that you were following the party, so it doesn't matter how fast you are if you're going the same speed of the party.
Yeah, but that's what I guess you didn't hear the full thing. I said I'm following them, but I would probably go a little faster than them, so I'd arrive there way sooner than them. That's what I said.
A little faster than them is like you didn't say like 100 feet or so. You just said a little faster than them. There's.
I can travel 300 feet as a cloud. I thought so I could go super fast to that spot they're trying to get to. I probably know where they're trying to go, so I thought I'd be like.
If you said a little far ahead of them, that does not imply hundreds of feet.
No, but I said I'd probably get there faster than them because I'm just like the 300 feet, like 30 feet compared to 300 feet moving distance. Like.
Farkir, this is the situation you're in.
I'm sticking with them. Whatever. I'm good.
Okay. You do take half damage on all sources, so it may not matter. It may. He takes his broadsword out and says, pretty much holds it up to you and says, "I'm under no impression that."
I can't talk.
Yeah, no, I know. He's telling you, like, "I'm not tricked by your ways. We'll hunt down your companions soon enough." And he just takes a swipe at you. 2 swipes.
Okay.
What is your armor class? Or actually, I have your armor class. I need to practice this. AC 16. Both sink into you. Actually, they have advantage because you are still. Cleaving out wafts of wind. You take wafts of wind. 10, 11, 26 points of damage, reduced to 13 points of damage.
I have no idea what that is.
18.
What am I supposed to be writing this damage down or what?
Yeah, you can just like keep like on the back of a sheet of paper or something. How people used to do it back in the day.
You can just use D&D Beyond on your phone.
26 reduced to 13 points of damage. You take another.
God, I'm not doing math.
Wow.
Just
28
D&D
points
Beyond
reduced to
can do it.
14. As he's just like trying to bat you away, and he looks over his shoulder and he goes, "You have an enchanter over here!" And the other guy across the way just like throws up his arms, and he's just gonna attack you again. Oh, actually, incapacitated might be incapacitated. Can't take any actions. Oh. Okay, the next 2. This is a great combination. I've not rolled lower than a 10 this whole time. 27 points of. I'm sorry, 28 points reduced to 14. More points of damage, and you, as the blade passes through you, and you feel this odd sense of discomfort and pain, but nowhere near as intense as you're normally used to in your physical form. As the blade leaves your midsection, you apparate and have your body back, and you have your turn. We'll go you and then these 2. You're up.
Oh,
As in your Aasimar form.
okay, yeah.
So if you're sorry.
I just hold my hands up and say, yeah, I'm not doing anything. Take me to rest if you want.
The guard, or you're not entirely sure what they are at this point. The copper individual says, Varkir presents himself to us. Oh,
Okay.
the city's got plans for you and the rest of Oren's Obliterate.
Well-
They'll join you soon enough.
We're going to maybe have to talk to Orenbelle about that, because we have sort of a deal going on to help. But whatever. I just say no, I'm not saying this to you. Just take me into Bresh.
I heard what you did. I have half a mind to
Yes,
get rid
yes,
of you right
yes,
now.
yes. I know.
Roll a, I don't know, I guess a charisma check? Or are you just trying to convince him not?
I'm just saying, just take me in. I guess I'll whatever. If he wants to actually fight, then he can fight. I guess. Charisma. What am I doing? Persuasion or I don't.
The charisma is well, it's just straight charisma. It's like how he's if you look like
15.
Okay. He looks at you for a few seconds longer. You can almost see this grimace forming on his face before he spits on the ground, puts his blade back over his shoulder, and he brings out I was about to say monocles, a whole bunch of monocles for you guys to share. What are they called? Manacles. Brings out manacles and says, "You really got to make this easy for me."
Like I've done nothing wrong.
Get on the sprinter hawk.
This red one's mine.
The red one has run away.
You've scared my sprinter hawk away. I guess I will walk behind yours.
Not sorry. All right. And you guys disappear around. You've disappeared around the corner. You have since sort of like looked back periodically as soon as you lose. As soon as they're no longer sort of like rounding the corner as you're rounding the next one, and you lose sight of them, arc upward and ascend upwards.
Okay. Trying to get on top of this mountain, and then maybe we can hike down. Circle back, but cautiously this time. I'll be whispering in your ear.
Can I give like a kind of sound? Because it's like on top of the mountain. Seems really high.
It would as a even as a Cloudtail, it would take most of the day to get up this.
We're just trying to get some elevation, so we're
Actually, more than sitting.
Couple 100 feet up on a ledge. Nice, flat, big ledge, couple 100 feet above the valley.
maybe even higher than that. Just basically high enough to where they would think, oh, nobody's going to be coming from that direction, like up there. They would be looking at the path, where we could still hopefully have eyes on Bresh, but
About 1,000 feet in the air, then.
yeah, sounds good.
Sure. You can feel your fur get to start to be pressed and filled with colder and colder air as you're flying up, skirting up the side of the mountain. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you can just steer the squirrel.
Sure. I'll grab some tufts. Steering.
How cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You find this sort of segment that's sticking out of the mountain. It's not all the way up at the top. There's still a vast portion to go. But you find this segment that you can traverse not while flying. It's just maybe a few feet sticking out of the mountain.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to be on the like opposite crest. The opposite side of the mountain. So like, to be honest, I'm not sure of the geography here, but
So this is the valley you're in.
Yeah.
It's like this is the mountain.
so we're on the other side, like the downside.
So
but
what I'm
still the top, but on the
you're on this side, but you want to be on this side.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're
The
saying
mountain
this-
is vast. The
Right.
mountain is very, very high. It'll take more than a day to do that.
Oh wow. Okay. So then, yeah, I guess just 1,000 feet up.
Okay. And there's just this constant harsh pushing of wind against your skin. You passed a few other sprinter hawks along the way who have had trouble even getting to this height. There have been a few who you can't tell whether or not they're stranded or they're just hanging out.
Stranded.
What are you guys doing as soon as you get this height?
Dismounting.
Okay.
Well, so we're 1,000 feet up, but I'd like to be. I don't know how far out. Maybe like. We say like half a mile, whatever is like a reasonable distance out that like we're not. They can't see us.
You guys are already about a little over half a mile out of the city.
Yeah. I'm gonna steer Funky down towards the ground.
As soon as we touch the ground, I'm dismounting, looking for a path down.
Okay. You'd have to climb, and it's not.
I'm
It's,
mountain born. I'm fine with that.
So you're just going straight down?
Like I'm finding a path where you can traverse down.
Fair check. Shouldn't we stay at this elevation while heading towards brush?
Yeah, I'm like finding the path.
So forward, not down.
Yeah, down. Well, we want to make our way down eventually, but
Let's stay up here for now.
okay.
where's Varkir?
I don't know. He was in cloud form last I saw. I'll start looking around for him.
I look it down at my hand and I look at the ring.
Beckoning connection.
Yeah,
Okay.
I look at them like we need to find Varkir.
You guys just have to stay
I will
there.
roll perception.
I will
Do a
also
perception check.
do some perception check to look over the ledge, see if I can find him.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
So am I still being carried towards the gate?
Yeah, you are.
12.
So you said all I have to do is concentrate on the ring to teleport, don't
Yeah.
I? So yeah, I just want to just sit there and just do as they're walking. No, I'm not paying attention. I just want to concentrate on the ring and concentrate on finding wherever they are. Just like and try and use it.
Jantar's got some words for you. Oh, madness.
I want to try and use the ring though, just teleport away.
Yeah, and he's just like continuing to talk as you blink. You don't know what happens next.
Oh, I'm
And make a athletics or acrobatics check.
Yeah, that's
As an immediate cold sensation rushes across your entire body
Natural 20.
and presses with wind.
What was the
As-
gentlest natural 20? It was just like,
Yeah, as you see
gentle natural one.
Varkir appear in front of you.
Funny.
Like you look to your right to try and look across the vast mountainscape, and then you look in front of you towards Bresh again, and Varkir's just there,
I
sort of
attack,
standing with his.
startled instantly with the hand axe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, go
Startled
ahead.
the fuck out of me. What do you
Roll
want
to
me to
attack.
do?
Hey,
That's 19.
hit.
Go ahead and roll damage. Ah! As you are as startled as Herchek is after this.
15.
15 points of slashing damage?
Yeah.
Just the act? Okay. You apparate, this new view floods your vision, the new sensation coursing across your body, and then just immediate pain in your chest as an axe glances across your flesh, and Herchek looks at you with the blade in his hand.
All right.
I just put my hand on his shoulder like, oh, thank God.
I kind of get your hand off me.
Where were you?
What? You
I
saw
knew
where
I-
I was.
I thought we
I was.
lost you.
You passed me. That's it.
What happened after?
Nothing important.
Do I see the mandibles on his wrists?
Yeah, manacles.
I just point at I point at wrist like nothing.
Nothing important, like as you can see. It's just, they're just on me. And nothing. They're just there.
But they talk to you, the guards.
They tried to, but I wouldn't listen to them. They're fools.
It actually
did they
turns
say
out that I
anything to you?
have telepathy.
They just called my name and said, we
As a
captured you.
Cloudtail.
That's it.
As a Cloudtail?
Yeah, it says languages Oren and telepathy.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm gonna talk to Varkir telepathically. So I'm guessing that we are not actually welcome into Brush, perhaps.
What gave it away?
Your handcuffs?
The
Why did
arrows,
they handcuff
the arrows
you?
being fired at us constantly. The ballistas
Well, I
being
just
put
thought
up.
that was maybe because, it looked like we were trying to infiltrate them. But did they arrest you because we were trying to infiltrate, or did they arrest you because
Oh,
they
they know.
recognized
They
you?
know we're Oren's Obliterate. They definitely know that.
So are we not welcome? Should we leave?
I think we should probably destroy the city.
They're talking in their mind right now.
That's true.
We've never been welcome here. I'd think.
Who are you talking
I'm not
to,
sure.
Varkir?
I'm not sure.
He's talking in his mind.
Yes. So Razor's just staring like.
You're just,
You do see the Cloudtail, the big sort of furry Cloudtail squirrel face, like sort of like nodding up and down and gesturing as they are directed towards Varkir.
So I guess I just pull my helmet out and just like, yeah, we're not welcome here. I look at the blade like, think we should get to work maybe. And
You pull the
walk
wood
forward,
out?
my halberd.
Oh, okay.
And I tap the blade and like, let's get to work and start walking towards Bresh.
As in, we plan on.
I'll let you guys infer what you
Destroying
want.
the
What you
town?
want with that. If you want to destroy it, we can go ahead and destroy it. If you want to save it, we can go ahead and save it. I'm all for.
What if we just leave it?
We were told to come here and fix relations with this town. Fixing it's either destroying it or fixing it. We can't have a town against Orenbelle. It leaves enemies.
We certainly cannot approach Bresh in the same way, clouds or otherwise. We either have to sneak in, or, well, to be honest, I see no other way.
We could just walk towards the bridge and have a white flag. Maybe they'll get that.
That I don't think will work.
no, we should burn the city down.
Well, white flags always work for negotiations.
Yeah, we
we
should
could
burn the
ask
city.
for their surrender
We
first,
should
and
burn the city
then
down.
ask for surrender. Yes.
They want to attack without asking questions. We should kill them all.
We could use the clouds.
No, we
now
just
that
came
we
in
know how
really,
that works.
really suspiciously.
We could use that cloud stuff again at night, where it'd be more
Cloud
difficult
stuff.
to
Were
see
they-
us.
Did they mention anything about
And
you
as you
or
say night,
us?
you
bargain.
realize how much colder
No, you didn't.
the air
I
is
already said
getting
that- I already
now,
said they told me-
even
they said my
since when
name.
you got up here.
Oh, you didn't?
And
I
the
said
darkness
that.
is now no longer.
I said they just called my name and said we've arrested you.
No, you didn't say anything. You said that to Thunky. in
I
your
said that
mind,
to you.
so
You
I
were like,
knew we
"What did
were
they
sitting-
say?" And I was like, "They just told me." You said, "Did they say anything important?" And I said, "They just told my name and told me that they've arrested me."
It's getting nighttime up here. It's getting very cold. I'd say if you
Doesn't
don't.
affect me.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't
Not even-
talk to them. I told them to
If
be
a
quiet and just
cloud-
take me into brush.
It says environments for Cloudtail is Arctic, so does that mean that, like, I'm okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I'm gonna, like, curl up into a ball, and anyone is welcome to sleep in my fur.
And the Barathor's Reach was also an Arctic location, or at least it was super cold and snowy. Do you have anything against cold?
I am a tree.
Yeah, I was thinking like he's a Warforged. Weather shouldn't affect him.
I don't know.
I mean, think like in a machine or an engine. Like if it's too cold, it can't run.
Well, I'm a giant flying squirrel. You can just hide under a skin flap. Like a little
Love me some
tent.
Skin flap. I don't think it does say anything. I have any kind of cold resistance.
You look down at your sort of wooden forearms, and you can see that they're starting to the wood fibers are starting to separate a little bit. The colder it gets, your wood is shrinking and like cracking apart. You can see signs of it right now, just like small perforations in your wood, but you should be familiar with what that implies.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Roll a Constitution saving throw. Unless you have something to protect yourself right now. This is like going forward.
13.
Okay. Noted. What are you guys up to? You all are moving across the mountain, this very thin cliff face, going in the direction of Bresh, and you can...
You're not affected by weather unless it's an active volcano or sub-zero Arctic temperatures.
Whoa, that's just a Warforged thing?
Yeah.
Oh, you get... Awesome, then. It would have said that under his features, though.
I'm looking at tabletop RPG rules. I'll keep looking around. But
Probably not the
like,
5.
in my mind, that makes
probably
the
not
most sense,
5e
like-
rules then.
It's
I don't have
like...
that,
It's kind of disrespectful to frame it this way, but like imagine that crow is just an item.
Yeah, I understand that. And that's where the whole, like, if we're near a volcano or we're in negative degree weather, that's when it would affect him. But if it's cold,
What does it say on here?
It's like it is below 0 right now. It's not sub-zero, but it's below 0. Is there a difference?
I don't know. I feel like it's the same.
I feel like sub-zero is 0.
Does Varkir have cold resistance stuff? Or
Right,
like, are we...
He's
Oh, yeah.
everybody looks super fine and comfortable, and you're like looking around like, is anybody else super cold? Does this affect anybody else? What's going on here?
If possible, I'd like to use Funky's like fur web thing as like a
Yeah,
almost
just
like
like
a
one arm.
blanket
Okay.
while still trying to talk to everybody.
Stunky waddling on 2 feet while
Are we calling it and then picking it back up tomorrow?
we're staying out here on the ledge.
it's night. It's getting nighttime. It took you 8 hours of travel to get there. Around 8 hours. It's like 7.5
Are
hours to
there
get
any,
there.
like,
It's been about a half an hour since.
caves?
Roll perception check.
6.
It's hard to see anything here. Well, actually, no, for you it wouldn't be. But it's you don't see any caves or openings or like natural barriers for protection against the elements.
Take a nice comfy boulder and I'll use it as a pillow.
You guys didn't cover much of a distance. It was about a half mile that you got into the valley before flying up the side, so it doesn't take you very long before you round the corner and you see the pale stone of Bresh and the green over top. But it's like it's thousands of feet away. It's hard to make out any specific detail at this point, and especially it's nighttime. You can really only see Bresh based off of the torches that they've lit around the area and some magical effects that you see people casting that are just sort of like causing almost random flashes of random colored light.
What direction is the sun setting in?
Sun's setting in behind you,
So theoretically,
direction of Orenbelle.
if we waited until sunrise, we would actually see the sunrise. It wouldn't be like prolonged due to us being in the valley.
Where you guys currently are, no, it wouldn't be. You guys, I would say it's if like, we'll say you're from the perspective of Bresh, looking at me. The two mountains are rising up right here. You guys are like on the curvature of this mountain. of the leftmost mountain away from Bresh. So you'd see the sunrise, yeah.
It's clear we are halting for the night. I think that we should wake up at sunrise and move closer to the valley and observe, see if we can track any local patrols or just scout the activity fresh. Clearly we need a better plan, and we can't just waltz in like we were doing. Sound good?
Good.
Are you an envoy?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Shouldn't you have like alternate personalities or something?
That's my business.
So you could sneak in using one of those personalities and scout out the area?
Varkir would not know that.
Technically, they don't know about me being in the Oren's Obliterate.
Yeah, they don't. But they did see you.
Okay, well, I would like to, I don't know, get in almost like a seated fetal position, crouched with a fur web wrapped around me,
Okay.
facing out forward. I guess like towards the valley.
Okay. You guys are resting for the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
You still maintain watch, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's a dope feature.
And you hear like the falling of small rocks descending down the mountain, as you hear like the scratching of the slight scratching of nails on rocks as you it's coming from below you, and you just see one ferret sort of like crawl up and assume the form of Carnigal once more with his sort of rice picking triangle hat, and he says, "Ooh, you guys have certainly found quite the perch up here. What's our plan of attack? How are we getting inside?"
We burn it down, Carnigal.
Even if we wanted to burn it down, we'd need to get inside.
I think that we should turn into clouds tomorrow and then hover right over the town, probably near some archers.
That didn't really work out too well for me, Crow. Just saying, we can try it.
No, I think it's a good plan.
Okay.
No, yes, I think he's right. I think that's a good plan, Herchek.
I just like look at my wounds, like,
Follow your lead. I think we should tomorrow at sunrise move closer towards the valley, the road that lies through it, and observe any patrols going through there. They're probably going to send out search parties looking for us.
Okay. All right.
Maybe we can apprehend a search party and don their armor and try to sneak in.
A very classic
But
tactic.
I do
One
think
I've
that
assumed many times, but does anybody have any ability to really good makeup skills?
I'm gonna like nudge Carnival, like, you can do that, Master.
See, but I'm looking for any other resources that we can use to our benefits. I would prefer not to be the one solely providing these aspects. If we get separated, somebody else will have to be able to do the same thing.
I got it. I want to maintain really awkward eye contact with Carnival. I'm gonna put my hand in a Pinky's pocket, and I'm thinking mask, like the mask I had a long time ago, the one that changes my face for an hour.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull it out.
Oh, that'll be very useful. I don't think it does much for your size, big guy, but there are other means to change that.
I put it on and I transform into King Triandal.
Do you really?
Yep.
Okay, it doesn't change your like the mass of your body. Your face just sort of like hair starts to grow out. This white, short hair starts to grow out.
Wait,
with this
even better,
mantle.
Kunbara.
You're still your primary physical form.
Yep.
Large male Goliath, gray-skinned form doesn't change, but the head, the tone of the skin is this rich tan with red hair that just is blowing in the wind. This steely-eyed look of Kunbara in her serious mode that plays across your face.
I'll get in there like this. Toss my hair.
You certainly will get in there. Yep.
Spot on.
Like him.
Like, yeah.
And
Prisoner?
he sort of
Maybe dead.
eyes the manacles that are on Varkir's wrist right now. So recon in the morning.
I think we probably should have strategized before approaching as clouds, but we might be able to.
I like you, Crow. We think on similar paths, it seems. It was along for the ride, but it didn't end up working out this time.
Oh boy. Well, if we are willing to try that again, I think it might be best to approach at night and then choose a spot where we all drop in to Bresh at the same time. Maybe somewhere there where it's not as heavily guarded. There might be a weak point in the perimeter.
Recon during the day, infiltration during night.
Did we go out a back way when we left with what's his face? The bird?
We went through like a
Quenzel?
sewer pipe.
Quenzel?
Yeah, a sewer pipe that you can actually sort of like see the very small dot of the sewer pipe where you are. There are many different areas of spillage that come from the rivers or tunnels, sewers that you can see exiting the sheer cliff that Bresh is located on.
I think we should scout out the Quetzal's area, or where we left.
Who is Quetzal?
Quetzal is he's a bird. Apparently, he was a legendary captain of flying ships back in the day. He was bringing us to the Incender Forest. If you remember the story that we told you back in the day when we first met, you know Quetzal.
We've heard of Quetzal.
I've never met him, but
Yeah.
So he's from Bresh.
Yes, or I think we met him here. Don't think he's originally from here.
Do you think he's in there now?
Hopefully, we are friends with him.
A friend on the inside. Do you think they could help?
Most definitely. We also have Vul, who's associated with Quetzal, who's an inside man, a pink goblin.
Pink
Do you have a
goblin,
good
that's
relationship with these people?
pink goblin.
I probably don't have the best relationship, but Thunky and Varkir do.
I don't know how we would get in touch with them, but we could
Luna,
certainly
you have
try.
a piece of something on your forehead.
Is it a bean?
It's a
Maybe
male.
we can.
It's a boy.
Where is the location of his ship?
I point to the direction where the pipe is.
You
But
just
I'd be
pointed
able to
towards
discern-
Bresh.
So
It's on the
where in Bresh?
insert cardinal direction here.
My name is Carnigal. Herchek, come on, you know that.
Do I remember which way the pipe was facing, where we came out?
Yeah, you can see the pipe. It's a little bit more you can see the small black hole underneath.
Is it on the south side, west side, the east side?
It's closer to
even?
you, which would be the west side.
So, west side. One of the pipes on the west side.
Pipe.
It has to be large enough for a blimp ship to come out of, so
Could we access this pipe from below or above?
How high was the pipe from the ground?
It wasn't super low from the...
We'll fly it.
Did they know about this pipe?
I have no idea. Quetzal was not too flashy in his ways. I think he kept a secret of life with this balloon ship that he had inside the city, in a sewer system.
Sounds like an interesting character.
You have no idea.
I hope he's as useful as you are making him out to seem.
Can be.
Let's say we get some rest. We have an entire day to plan tomorrow.
Actually,
Getting cold.
where? So I've seen Fool before. I'm pretty familiar with him. Correct?
Yes.
Where is it? It's not. It's not locate object. It's.
Trying to locate person.
I cannot seem to find it right now.
That'll be some good ASMR.
Does that count as ASMR?
Sending. There we go. You send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender. If it knows you, you can answer it in a like manner immediately. The spell enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message.
Okay.
Unlimited distance.
That applies.
With a 1.
So yeah, I want to try to send a message to Vul, I guess, like, Vul, we are here outside the gate. If you still...
Hold on. Start over.
Hello, Vul. We are here outside the gates of Bresh. We need your help. Assistance, if you will. Please, come to these coordinates.
Come to. 25.
Send another one.
That's the spell used once, and then I guess I'll use it again.
Beep.
Farkir, it's
Love.
good to... And then you start your next message.
Bluff. Keep it brief. Location, who you are. Yeah, location.
And then I send him the location where we are. Like, please. Wait, what's the other dude's name? Send, and if you could, use Quenzel's ship, perhaps. He'd be willing. I'm just waiting for a response, I guess.
How far away is the temple in which we teleported?
Explain... One second. Explain to me what you say to get him to these coordinates. This is a purely word-based message, so it has to be under 25 words. So if you can't...
Couldn't I just say, like, the latitude, longitude?
He has a map.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
I don't know the exact latitude, longitude, so I guess I'm just going to... 25 north, 22
No, if you
south.
don't... But how are you understanding this?
I have a map, but I don't...
You do have a map. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, you do have a map. All right, this is all coming together. You get a message back from Vul rather quickly after, and he goes, Oren's Obliterate should not have come back to Bresh. It's good to know that you're here. Or sorry, Oren's Obliterate should not have come back to Bresh. It's good to hear from you.
Oh, wait a minute, actually.
Things are very different here, is all that he can get out to you. There's no affirmation that he was coming.
Is there anything else we need to do in this area? Do we have to go to Bresh?
You do know that Bresh is the city of many paths. It connects to a lot of the different cities, towns, and different civilizations that are a part of the Gragnar Mountain. Some lead outside of the Gragnar Mountain. Aquiago is one of those places that has the power source you're looking for. You know that it's east of Bresh, on the other side of the chasm that you guys are on. Yeah, that would be as far as your overarching goals are concerned, that would be your one
guess-
that you could also
Go take it.
complete,
We still have to.
or you could
sleep,
look
though.
into.
Where's the temple? Are we teleported?
Temple's north of Bresh, but it's like 4 hour. It's a 4 hour walk really from Bresh through the treacherous jungles.
Yeah, never mind.
I like what you're
It costs too much gold.
thinking.
I'll mention it to the group. Like, remember we used that Vul teleported us to that temple. Maybe we can just do it in reverse. Have him teleport to the temple, and then we temple to the teleportation in Quetzal's lab. It will cost
That an Oren's
significant amount of
Obliterate?
gold.
That's an Orenbelle, though, isn't it?
No.
In Quenzel's lab, but
Quenzel?
he had a lab. I thought he was a pilot.
Yeah, in the sewers? Or his
Isn't really a lab,
Lab
yeah.
home.
It's like Aladdin's
His
lab.
his hangar bay, we'll say. Does that make more sense to you now?
Yes,
The old hangar bay.
So this Quetzal, he has a ship and a teleportation pad.
We don't know about the ship, but the teleportation pad, yes.
He did not ever have a teleportation pad on his ship.
he just had a ship.
When did
He teleported to the temple ruins outside of Bresh, but that was the only teleportation circle in this area. Quetzal
thought it
used
took a-
the spell teleportation to get to that teleportation circle. But there was not a permanent teleportation circle that you know of anywhere outside of that one temple.
Okay.
How many times can you use that spell?
I would probably need to sleep now. Since we are getting ready for bed. So I said, like, I'm going to send in this message before we go to bed. So, yeah.
Did he confirm?
Didn't confirm anything. I can't really... I mean, I could use it once more. That's it. That is it.
It may be worth confirming.
Alright, I guess I'll use it once more. I guess I put my hand up to my head and say, Vul, are you coming or are you not? Simple answers would be good. And don't forget Quenzel.
The current matters in Bresh make it difficult.
But yes, but no.
We should think of something else. Quetzal sorry, I am not with Quetzal. And he has one more word.
That's a simple no or yes. Is that a no or a yes?
He said it would be too complicated, given the current situation
that's a
with
no?
Bresh.
So I guess Quenzel's not. Vul's not coming. He said no. He doesn't know where Quenzel is. We could find Quenzel. Well, my mind's a bit in a haze. I need to take a rest.
I think we should scout out the hangar, and then if that doesn't bode well, we regroup outside the city.
Who's this?
They sent a package.
I think now would be a good time to. You guys okay to rest?
I want to do something before.
Okay.
the rest, but we can just take a break. It'll take so long.
Okay. We will take a break and we will be back instantly. Okay. Yeah. Are you guys ready to get back into it? Okay. Yeah. You guys are about 1,000 feet up on one of the Gragnar mountains. You have a clear view of the canyon far below you and the bridge as well as Bresh itself. It is nighttime. It is hyper cold up here in the mountains. And Kerchek, you said you wanted to do something. The only person who has dark vision is, I'm sorry, you.
People do.
I do.
And okay, you too. Nothing has been said about a fire. I'll leave it on to you as to whether or not you want to start the fire. But
No fires.
good call.
Is it moonlight?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
It is a clear sky after the storm the night before. It's been clear since.
Yeah. When everybody lays down and kind of drifts off, I'll move away from the group.
Crow is always awake.
That's fine.
Okay. You see Herchek take off, and are you continuing along the path, sort of leading around the mountain that looks
Okay.
towards Bresh?
Where are you going?
Ways away. I'm gonna go talk to somebody real quick.
Who?
I'm gonna bring out one of the glass boats and be like, I'm gonna try to talk to Regensha.
Okay. Will you be back soon?
10 minutes. I'll yell if anything happens.
Okay.
Actually, I will shoot a lightning bolt. It'll wake everybody.
You should not do that.
I'll make some sound. I'll make a noise.
Well,
I'll be.
what will you be saying when you're coming back so I know it's you?
I'm gonna say crow.
Cool.
I'm gonna be like 100 feet, and I'm gonna point in a direction like 100 feet over there, around the corner. That's it. 10 minutes.
Your time starts now.
Sprint.
Are you sprinting?
No.
All right. Okay, Herchek, you in the moonlight find a calm, peaceful position. Part of you sort of sees the mountainous scene in front of you and feels it's chilling, but it's not exactly negatively impacting you at all. You feel this sense of nostalgia, this almost sense of like it's been a while since you've been in the climate or sort of circumstances that you grew up in.
I'm gonna take some like small little rocks and kind of make like a platform, a little shrine. I'm gonna take the non-broken boat, place it on top of the shrine, and I'm gonna just sit in front of it and just kind of close my eyes and have the red tempest in my hands and kind of just focus internally on it, of the red tempest axe, and guess I'll just say, hello, are you listening?
You hear the distant crash of waves, but nothing beyond that.
Oh, I hear waves. Ooh.
Just like almost like a passing conch by your ear.
Well, I don't know if you are listening or if this is doing anything, but I would like a hint, a path, something to know that we're either going in the right direction or the wrong one.
Roll a religion.
Land on top.
I know I'm using religion wrong, but
8.
sue me.
It's the first low roll in religion.
Yeah, normally it's a fucking all-seeing eye natural 20. You hear this light whisper in the waves that says, there are many paths in front of you. You must find the right one. It's up to you. Don't let this intimidate you or check. Use your passion and keep climbing.
Kind of like look at the peak of the mountain, like I start climbing.
Do you really?
I I'll build a little roof for the boat out of whatever debris is around.
Okay.
And I'll walk back and I'll just go. Crow.
Did
Go check.
you're leaving the boat?
Mhm.
Okay. The first official temple that Herchek's made to Genshin. There'll be many travelers.
Unless somebody finds that hey, they got 500 gold worth of boat.
Everything go okay?
I guess.
Ooh. Alright, well, I'll keep watch. You, tuck yourself in.
I pick up a pebble and I put it on my chest. I lay down. Nice and warm.
Take both hands and turn it around. Okay. Everybody's dozing off, with the exception of Crow.
Yep.
Okay. Throughout the night, it's very calm. The only noise you hear is sort of the dropping of small stones down the mountain from the wind continually pressing upon it. The gates of Bresh only open once for a returning Sprinter Hawk.
I mark down what time that happens.
Okay,
What time is that?
about 4 in the morning. 4:03 in 6 seconds. Do anything else? At about only a little over an hour later, you start to see the sun creep up in the eastern distance, start to get lighter and lighter, and turn from black to dark blue to light blue to lighter blue, and it starts to spread throughout the entire horizon.
I'm gonna start waking people up.
Okay.
With Thunky being first. Hey Thunky, it's sunrise.
Oh,
Wake up.
that's too early. Give me 5 more minutes.
I'm gonna like abruptly ripping the blankets off. Kinda.
I'm gonna jump up and be like, and go into rage mode without actually being able to rage.
That's the spirit. Up and at 'em. I'll get the others. And I'll wake up Herchek next.
Sorry. Where's the Wonder Boob? Oh, I got it. I think I should.
There you go. And I'll wake up Herchek and Carnigal. And then run.
Okay. Everybody rises to it's a bit less cold now. The sun is coming up over the edge. It brings a lighter hue to what you're used to in this area. What are you guys doing?
Is that a long rest?
That was a long rest. From about 10 p.m. to... actually, everybody's different, but I think nobody is rest. Varkir's the only one who needs 7. Everybody else needs 5 or less. So we good.
Or less.
Everybody else needs at least 5 or less. As in, if you are included
2.
in that.
All right, everyone. Should we start making our way down?
Are we going to be turned into clouds and go to the pipe?
No.
the plan was to survey this area first. See if we can spot any patrols and track them. See what their patterns are. How often they change guard. If there are any weak points in the perimeter.
Okay, that's what that is.
It's wind. Carnival says, yes, the intention was to sneak in under the cover of night. If we find a particularly weak point of entrance before then, I'd be open to... We have a dog just randomly shuffling in a weird sleeping position. You know what?
We should have like a dog
I don't have my
camera.
phone, never mind.
Like
a dog cam?
Like an animal camera.
Yeah. One of these days. Okay, so yeah, what is your next immediate course of action? How are you getting down?
Donkey,
Yes.
can't you turn into a mountain goat?
I can't carry you guys.
I've got my own means.
Can't carry us?
I don't know. It's a giant goat.
Goonigods?
That's super noticeable.
They're in the area all the time.
We're still trying to stay out of sight. Just in, well, stay high elevation. Elevation.
What do you think? Do you think a giant goat could carry passengers?
How big is the giant goat?
It just says large beast.
Large is pretty large.
I mean, I'm a medium.
Yeah, large is like
You're a medium?
Yeah.
So then, yeah,
everybody's
I
a
could probably
We're all
do-
mediums.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're,
so he's a
you're like a
dwarf.
small.
So maybe I
I
can
think a
carry
dwarf
like
is like the last medium, I think. I'm not sure.
2 passengers.
Yeah. I mean, if the flying squirrel could carry 2, giant goat can carry
Okay, perfect.
2.
I'll be like, yeah, I could turn into a giant goat, but I can only carry 2 people.
I just started scaling down the mountain.
Alright, he's covered. Barkir?
Remember,
There's thousands of
stay
feet
with the
up.
group.
We
Everyone
were 8,000
stay with
feet
the group.
above.
You're right, but still 1,000 feet up.
I'm mountain born. You know, take me like a couple hours.
We do
It
not
will
want
take
to
you a couple
alert-
hours, but you're also on the side of the cliff that is open to brush.
Barkir, Crow, you want a hot pot?
Just drop them off. Thought you just drop them off and then come back for me. But I'll just scale down
Why don't you just scale with us?
because you're gonna be on the goat.
But you don't need to be on the goat.
So,
Yeah.
But a goat can jump down.
Yeah.
freedom of movement.
I'm not leaping down at
Well-
the same pace that you guys will be going.
We
Yeah, just
will-
come down
so
slowly
we're
and then I'll
gonna
come back for you.
move
Exactly.
slowly, so we don't need to do this different pace kind of weird stuff. We'll just move at the same pace.
freedom of movement.
Whatever your
here.
pace is, we'll move at that.
Freedom of
No, you
movement.
guys
here,
should get
'cause
down
this is,
No.
is it unaffected by
No.
difficult terrain. If I
The
s-
last
put
time we
the
split
spell
up is the reason why we are.
I would say
no
I'll just give you
reason for
advantage
Duncan
on
to change shape.
like scaling the cliff, or however
No.
whatever physical way you're thinking about going down the mountain.
Like if you're not
Yeah,
going
definitely.
faster, there's no reason to waste a spell.
So then I guess.
Yeah.
It's a mountain and it's steep. Mountain goats are able to climb steep mountains.
I'm,
I am not,
I'm going to use my
so I got to
freedom
be
of
on a
movement
mountain.
to cast that spell. And
We do
Release
one conversation at a time.
yeah, continue.
Are you done?
Yeah, you can continue.
Go.
Well, I don't know what he just did because I was talking. What did you do?
It only applies to me.
So what did you do?
I haven't done anything yet. I was
Just
talking to
continue
him, and
conversation.
then you said one conversation at a time, so I stopped.
Funky's transforming into a goat, so we can traverse this very steep terrain. You can traverse the steep terrain. Can you,
Yes.
Barker?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I'm gonna go on Funky. What about you, Carnival?
I've got my own ways. Same way I got up here.
Okay, so I say we proceed slowly, cautiously. We don't want to cause any kind of rock slide, avalanche.
What is our destination when we get down to the bottom?
We're not getting down to the bottom. We are staying at a high elevation, and this is a recon mission. We are staying high, low, like
I thought we were going down.
nope. We're staying like imagine eagle eye view, so we can observe Bresh, the wall, the patrols. We don't want to be at ground level. That is where they were chasing us. That is where they will likely send more people after us. We want to be above them, out of line of sight. Or where they would not expect us to be, which is this high. So, we'll...
Aren't we still half a mile away
Right. So we do need to move closer.
on a giant winding path?
No, you guys covered the like. If you look down, you're looking almost directly down at the bridge. So
That's
place.
not where I intended on parking for the night. Well,
I had told you that is exactly where you were when you went to sleep, which is you're
so
on
then
the rounded.
I think that we're already in ideal position then.
Okay, you're still 1,000 feet up. It's going to be hard to make any details out, unless you had a means to do so.
So, as we go down, is there anything that would obstruct us?
There are a few similar edges with some rocks, like some areas where rocks have fallen down and collected. There are a few, but for the most part, this is a sheer cliff.
Okay. Then I would like to look for...
I think we need to move forward cautiously and not all at once. We're trying to be sneaky here, so as to not give off our presence. I'd like to look do like a perception check to see if there are, within the next 100 feet, something that we can start like bunny hopping, like from something that would.
So the location that you're in right now is exposed to Bresh. If you are descending in from this vertical space, you're like you cause any ruckus or probably go down at all, you will be in view of Bresh. Like Bresh will just see a disturbance on that cliff that's right in front of them. Doesn't matter if you guys are 1,000 feet up. You'll still be activity.
Do you think I would be familiar enough with a sprinter hawk by this point to be able to wild shape into one?
I think so. Yeah, not the mountain ones.
But what about the ones that go in?
Mm-hmm. Wait, the go in what? Sorry.
Into brush.
Yeah.
What if I were to wild shape into a sprinter hawk and try to go in through the gate?
I think that's too risky. You're by yourself, and at this point, they'll probably check, questioning everything coming through the gate, especially a lone sprinter hawk. I think might be more useful transforming into something that can get you down there. I think that whoever's not sneaky here should probably stay here until nighttime, where I think that Bucky and myself should do recon, and then
I think you and Carnagal should go, and we give Carnagal a ring.
why not Bucky? She can transform.
Just in case somebody dispels her magic. She's with
We're
Oren's
trying to
Obliterate.
stay at a distance, from outside spell range.
I don't agree with that, but okay. That's the plan.
We're not going in to Bresh. We're staying outside Bresh. She can transform into something small enough that cannot be observed. Her movement will be still too hard to track because she can turn into a bird.
Imagine this, right? So your Bresh is here. You're gonna transform into something, and try and go into Bresh, or
No, they're not going
we're not going into Bresh.
They're going to keep a wide perimeter in the cliffs but at a lower position.
Isn't there a 600 foot wide moat around Bresh?
There is.
We're not.
Well, it's not a moat.
but
It's
we're-
a canyon that just like spreads across. It pretty much like bisects the entire mountain range.
So the closest we can get is like 600 feet away.
Yeah.
That's still observable range.
Yeah, you can observe. Yeah, you can observe the walls. Yeah.
It's weird.
But
People up here?
It just automatically started playing that.
Oh, there's a family hiking up here. Oh, okay.
Stevenson.
Oh, we're from Bresh. Run! Oh, crap. We've been seen.
That would actually work out perfect. If a family came up here from Bresh, we kill them, we take their clothing, then we go to Bresh.
Take their skin.
Yeah. That's
Could. So would we have to would Thunky try to or have to transform into something very small in order
Oh yeah, and to scale down the side that you're currently on, yeah.
no, not really just to scale down, but just to basically move without being seen.
Yes, same answer.
Again, I understand sheer, but I don't know mechanic wise. Could I stealth and try to slowly move down?
Unless you had another means or a spell or something, if it's just you physically getting down, you would have to climb. Sheer is steep. It's very
Right. So can I stealthily climb?
You'd have to move very slow.
Dang.
So would it would I think that would be a feasible option to basically?
So you guys can literally just go around the corner and scale down. You don't have to think of a way to not be seen to get down to where you are.
You said that we're basically any movement can be seen by Bresh.
Not any movement, activity, lots of activity. You turning into a mountain goat is different than just walking along the edge of the cliff.
Okay. Then yeah, I think that we should slowly round this corner, and then we can move further down, and then stay on the other side of this mountain, and just peek the crest enough in order to pop the corner and observe Bresh and what's going on at that gate.
all of us.
We might as well stay together at this point.
All right. You guys roll a stealth check, all of you. What?
16.
Hey.
I thought I just asked if us moving.
Yeah, but
down-
you still have to move carefully. This is still a thin cliff. And you just mentioned moving carefully across the cliff into the shadows. So this is literally just to make sure that you don't make any mistakes and cause a large noise.
I'm gonna pull out a rope from my pack.
Okay.
I'm gonna tie it around everybody's waist.
Okay.
2.
You have disadvantage?
Yes.
Ooh. You start to, as you guys are just about to round the corner, you get this idea. You pull out the rope and tie it on to Crow, Carnigal, Thunky, yourself, and then you look towards Varkir, and he just takes one step forward, and the bottom of his foot falls out from underneath him.
I'm reaching for him, grabbing him.
Roll dexterity.
I'm jumping for him.
No,
I'm going to grab him with everything I have.
Okay, I get it, but
I want you to realize this. I'm going with everything I have.
Okay.
So you know.
There's still no difference of everything you have from a roll. So
Yeah.
everything you have is a
Just
natural
so you
20. Okay.
What am I adding?
Dexterity. See how quickly you can react.
11.
Roll a dexterity saving throw, Markir, as this effect is happening to you.
It's not
Does he still have the manacles on?
He does.
4.
As Herchek, you're going with everything you have.
Yeah.
You pull everyone off of the cliff with you.
There's a good amount of distance in that rope for separation, just in case.
Okay, you wanted me to know that you are going at him
And
with everything you have.
everything,
you
but-
are the
but there's-
largest
yep,
being
yep,
in this
yep,
entire group.
everything that happens-
You're jumping
yep.
after Varkir. Thunky, you feel the rope pull your waist forward. Carnigal
What
goes,
if I rolled a
oh.
22?
Huh?
I rolled
That's
a
for
22.
stealth.
I'm going to try to brace myself and...
Okay, you are the one who has an opportunity to do so. Whatever you're going to do it fast.
Yeah, I'm going to try and grab the rope, brace myself, and, not allow myself to, fall down with them, but try and hold them up.
What are you going to do though? Like
I just told
you're
you.
just grabbing it? You're just grabbing the rope.
Grab the rope and resist so I don't fall down
Okay.
with everybody else.
Roll a strength check. It's going to have to be monumentally high. This is Herchek, Thunky, Carnigal, falling.
Wait. What is the order here? Am I at the end of
You
the rope?
were so, okay. You're first, then Carnigal, then Thunky, then Herchek, then Varkir. Varkir has fallen, no rope. Herchek has fallen with a rope. Thunky has a rope attached to her as well, and so does Carnigal, and so do you. Carnigal and Thunky are falling off the cliff with Herchek right now. Herchek is in line with Varkir. You are the only one on top. So this is going to be a monumental feat if you are just using your strength to try and Matrix Neo your friends to safety.
Do I get the bonus action?
Yes.
Can I cut the rope if I don't make it as a bonus action?
Yeah, sure. Yep. Yes. What'd you get?
19.
Your feet start to, as the rope snaps. Herchek is at the rope is fully taut at this point with 3 individuals on the other end. You quickly notice that it's too much for your strength, and you lean down as much as you can. Your heels are carving into the stone, pushing you forward, and it's not enough. You have to sever the rope. Roll another. If you're going to try and grab Varkir again, roll another.
Say don't.
I wild shape into a giant eagle.
Okay, the rope just leaves out of you, or you wild shape, become a smaller form, and are able to exit the rope. Now just Carnigal and actually just Herchek, as Carnigal also just like jeez, and turned into ferrets once more. 13. So 13. Still not quite fast enough. As what are you doing, Varkir?
I was just like, you could just grab onto the side of the mountain because I'm going to I'd use thwart on myself. So
okay. You almost see like Varkir barely moves from the time that his foot slips, and his body's still just upright as he is turning down like that. You see his hand get pressed to his chest as his just like stiff casual body is falling down the mountain, and he's looking. His eyes are meeting yours with I've got this. You might want to hold on.
Yeah, so just like grab on. I'm fine. I'm bracing myself.
Which one looks like they're in more peril?
I just take out the Starlight Conqueror and I just stab it into the mountain.
Okay, in that
Just
case,
like grab the Starlight Conqueror. Roll a strength saving throw, or no, roll an athletics check.
Athletics?
Yeah.
14.
You just barely are able to and stop yourself about 200 feet below the 1,000-foot line that you guys were all walking. Crow is at the top, or you don't really see Crow from your vantage point right now. You just see the rope sliding down the mountain with nobody inside of it. An eagle flying away and a descending stampede of ferrets.
Well, a giant eagle is a large creature,
Yeah.
so I would like to dive and pick up Varkir or grab Varkir in talons and then fly back up.
Okay, what's the eagle's flying speed?
80.
Okay, easy enough. Yeah, you make a strength saving throw because he's falling, so it's added force. Well, I guess you're an eagle, so you'd be diving with them. No, yeah, it'd still be a strength saving throw because you have to stop the fall. Haha.
$20 not natural.
Okay, Varkir, as you sort of are preparing for the imminent.
I already put the spell on me, so.
No, I know, but as you've already like whatever happens at this point. I'm fine. Just preparing for the impact. You're waiting, doesn't come, and you notice that you feel a different trajectory of wind pressing against your face as Thunky is now just sort of like flying away with you.
Oh. That's what's happened.
Ah!
Very, very well.
Would I know whether
Bloody seagulls.
giant eagles are rare in this area of the world?
Make an history check, or nature, whichever one you want to use. Man, this is not going well for you guys.
No.
We're near Bresh. We've always had trouble in Bresh.
18.
I just had a super brain fart. Why did you roll again?
To know whether giant eagles are like really suspicious or
yeah,
not.
this is a mountainous region. Yeah,
Giant eagles
yeah.
are normal? Okay.
Maybe not to see this low, but
Okay.
maybe not carrying a big gray.
I'm trying to fly as fast as I can to like a secluded spot. Let him down.
The crow in from your vantage point, you're looking at the gate to Bresh. Like this is a huge disturbance. Of course, they had to have seen it, but you, or sorry.
I thought we were around the
stealth.
corner.
You're not around the corner. You almost made it around the corner. That was a stealth check to see if you could navigate around the corner, and you fell before then.
I'm using stealth.
You notice that there is a little bit of activity on the gate now. Archers begin to pile up one more time. There's no weapons are being armed. There's just a little bit more movement, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. You guys are a significant distance away, especially having been 1,000 feet up. You are looking to see if they've seen anything, and you see her check about 200 feet below as the only real obvious thing that they could point out, and then an eagle flying away, and again the ferrets. And you wait a little longer to roll stealth.
No, I stealth now.
Yeah, I know. Roll stealth. You always got to do that.
$32.
Getting down in the prone position, just like sticking out your wooden, almost similarly colored head to the stone, waiting for a little while. No serious movement being made. Her check. What are you doing?
Staying where I'm at until I see less movement or less activity.
Okay, you just see like her check, just like.
I'm just like, yep, just sitting there. Stay here all day.
How far away is her check?
Her check is 200 feet below you. Okay. Thunky, you can take Varkir wherever you need to in this moment.
I would like to go around the corner and then see if there's like...
Drop me.
Drop you? I just turned into a giant eagle to save you. I'm not going to drop you.
That's why I put deathward on. Like,
Yeah, but I don't know
If I fall
that.
from that giant distance, I won't die.
But Funky doesn't know
make
that.
sense to drop you.
I want to get to the bottom.
Funky has no idea what you just did. I just saw you falling, so I turned into an eagle to get you.
Put me closer to the ground, please. I don't like high up places too often anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to find a ledge, and I'm going to put you on a ledge that's like out of sight around the corner.
Very well, just
Okay.
not 1,000 feet up anymore, please.
Okay. The next ledge is the one that you guys sort of ran into the ambushers on, and it's only like 30 feet up.
Good.
So he's for most intents and purposes he's on the ground. what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go on the other side of the. I'm gonna round the corner, and still watch, like from the corner, the activity at Fresh, and see if they send people our way.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start climbing up.
Do you want to do it stealthily or
No.
Okay. About a you.
I'm not making a huge ruckus.
You're still a.
Mountain-born Goliath.
That does not
I'm familiar
make
with
you
the mountains.
one with the mountain.
I'm
though.
not one with the mountain, but I know how
So,
to climb
from a
properly.
visual perspective, you are an object that is contrasted against the mountain now moving.
What color's the mountain?
The mountain's like it's dark brown.
Yeah, leather, gray.
Do you still have Kunbara's face?
No, that would have been gone a long time ago.
I don't know how long that item lasts. Okay, you still climbing?
Yeah, I'll roll a stealth check.
Okay.
16 for stealth.
Crow, as what would be if you were an organic being, sweat sort of drops down your forehead, looking at her check, now scaling the mountain and keeping a very close eye on the gate. There's no offensive activity happening across the top. People are still looking out, but yeah, there's no, especially this early in the morning, people are maybe tired and maybe just switching shifts. You don't quite know why. And you don't have to make any check. It'll just take. It'll take like a minute or two. No, not a minute. It'll take like 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes to climb.
I'll help her check up when it gets by me.
I thought you said you went around the corner.
I thought you said you were like climbing towards me.
It's just climbing up.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, I got it. I have 40 feet, and with a dash, it's 80. Should be there, no problem.
It's halved with while climbing, or do you have one that makes it not halved?
Is climbing difficult?
I don't suffer penalties.
To climbing?
High altitudes or cold climates.
That doesn't affect climbing.
Is climbing like is that difficult terrain?
Huh?
No,
climbing is just climbing. Difficult terrain is like if you're forwardly navigating through something, it would be like swamp or like tangled of vines or something like that. That would be difficult, or like rocks.
Doesn't say difficult terrain.
It's climbing is just
Easy,
climbing.
or-
Like if you can climb, you can climb. Or everybody can climb. It's just half their
Should
normal
say
moving speed.
Yeah.
No, just I don't suffer penalties from being high altitudes or cold climates. But being born in the mountains just makes me
You should also understand
an
that
idiot.
80 feet per second while climbing is a near impossibly heroic feat. So, especially while you're trying to stealth. Okay. Giving context.
what is Donkey doing?
You look below, and in the shadows far below you, you can see the black speck, red speck of Varkir.
Oh, yeah, probably like
I know your hair
gunmetal,
is-
blackish with red hair.
And then Thunky circling around as an eagle around Varkir's vicinity. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fly upwards
Okay.
on the backside so that I'm not facing Brush.
Okay.
And if there's like a lower landing that I can move over to, I'd like to start making my way down to like a lower elevation area that can accommodate our group.
That'd be where Varkir is, and that's like 970 feet below you.
And
Approximately.
how close is that to the bottom?
30 feet.
The next closest landing is 900.
You said that everybody can collect on. Varkir is on, like, Varkir would have to climb or do something to get to one that, a closer one to you.
not gonna climb. Okay. Yeah, I'll start making my way down there.
Okay. Yeah, it is climbing, so you can. It just will take a while. Oh,
You're
but
on the backside
you
though,
have fast movement speed anyway. So it's like in iRobot where the robots are all climbing the building. It's just like that.
Okay, cool.
All right. Anybody else? Are you following?
Am I up now? Am I with
Yeah,
Cut?
yeah, you're up. You bring yourself
Do I
up.
see the cut rope on his waist?
Yeah.
Yeah, follow.
You have to pull your rope up. Well, wrap it
Yeah,
around.
Archik just makes a note of that.
Okay. What?
You can chalk me down as a wise individual.
Yeah,
That just moved.
you're real wise.
Everything
In the
worked out.
future.
I'll find out while editing. It's still. It actually might be a better angle now that it moved. The animals are getting smarter. So okay, Herchek, you see Crow climbing down. He's, I would say, about halfway with the amount of speed that he has. Kind of makes you respect Crow, or maybe be a little bit jealous of Crow, because it looks like climbing is no issue for him. He's actually climbing faster than you think you could at full speed.
I'll climb down after him.
Okay. You guys meet up in short order. What are the next steps?
So they're just chilling down there?
Thunky has been circling Crow for a while now, making sure never to sort of leave the shadow of the valley.
Okay. Yeah.
So you guys are behind the corner
Yeah, no.
in the valley. The valley equals shadow, so you are safe. You are outside of Brush's view.
I'd like to look around for. Well, I'll ask. Mark here. Are you okay?
Still 900. Aren't I still like 900 feet away from you since you're.
I feel like we fast forwarded all the climbing, the 900 feet of climbing.
We did. It was like some pebbles started like tickling their way down the cliff, and you looked up and you saw Crow's form descending quickly, and then more pebbles, Herchek falling right after.
Mark here. I think it's time to remove the manacles from your hands.
Well, I was going to, and then we all decided to move. So,
You could have said something.
well, you all just started moving, so
But
I'll do it now.
Okay. Communicate as freely as you choose.
So
It is.
I cast freedom of movement, and I use the 5 feet to escape the manacles. I guess because it says freedom of movement. If you cast it, you can expend 5 feet of movement to magically escape, like manacles, cuffs, pretty much anything that's holding you. So I do that, and I. All right, we're good. I put the manacles in the bag of holding.
You just
I feel like you could have just done that whenever.
Well, that's what I was going to do it when it was my turn. When I was like, and then you're like, we should move. I go, okay. And you also said only one conversation at a time, so I just stopped it.
Oh, that actually was the very thing that he was in the middle of saying he was doing. But I know
Yeah, but he was in
you
the
tried
middle
to
of saying it
clarify.
while other people were
That's
also
okay.
talking.
Yeah, you just see Varkir just like almost appear 5 feet down the way on the path, and the manacles just clatter to the floor. Ground.
Yes. So Thunky, she's still flying around?
Yeah.
Do we see Carnival?
No, you don't.
So I have a death ward on me and freedom of movement for 8 hours and an hour.
Wow.
I think I have a plan.
Let's
How
hear
do these
it.
rings work?
Carnival
I
Apper.
assume that is how you got back to us.
Yes, I did. I used the beckoning collection that we got from Ildfell. Or whatever that one person's name was. Who we fought with a mask, a pickaxe.
So, tell me about that one day. But
They did.
We did.
tell me again.
We probably would have explained to you how the rings work too.
Tell me again, please.
We focus on the another person has to be wearing this ring, and if you focus on that person hard enough, you will instantly, in theory or whatever, go to that person. I don't know the means of it.
You've used it before. You went to
You went
Yerg.
Oh yeah, I went to your...
You saved him.
It's the most fast-forward adventure of all time.
How long does it? How often can we use this?
Once per day.
I'm gonna yell for Funky. Funky, come down here.
Come down to the ledge.
I think that you should try and get into brush, and then all but one of us teleport over to you. I feel like
It's only one use, one individual.
Just how
One-
Arkir used it.
Yeah, one person can teleport to another person.
right. So you're saying like
It would take
The-
us 5 days.
it's called-
for
all of
everyone
the
to come
rings
to us.
reset.
It's called the Beckoning Collection. So yeah, they all share the same power source, and when one uses it, when it connects with the other one, the power source is depleted.
Then I think you should travel over there, and then I should teleport to you. I think you can stay transformed. Maybe that won't work.
Can I look over at her check and see, like, oh, do you still have Pinky's pocket? I guess I'll look on his waist and do I see the
I
bag?
kind of look at you strangely, like, you retarded?
Do I see the bag on him? Like, so has it happened to be all headed in Pinky's pocket at one point or another? Couldn't we hide some of us in Pinky's pocket and then you just teleport to wherever the one person is and we all just hop out of the bag again?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
We have to get permission from Pinky, though. Well, you think he'll give it to us?
Do you have any goodies?
Yeah.
You smell him before you hear him.
Like,
And his stench has gotten worse. He has not left the bag for some time, and whereas he was like very cleanly groomed only a few weeks ago, you can like the hair has started to grow again. Some of the clothing that he was wearing, the nice expensive clothing, has been sort of like ripped and heavily damaged.
do you have anything worth anything to give him for this, maybe?
Sounds like you're in a bit of a pickle.
What about, another spa day, Pinky?
Another one?
Another spa day.
How many people do you need inside?
All of us.
Oh, you only need
Except
two.
for one.
You
Except
only
for-
need 2 people in there. Oh, 3 people, Carnival.
He sort of like from his mouth, a hand extends out of the opening and grabs the side of the opening, and his arm just stretches really wide, and his elbow bends to create this sort of like from your hip, this very large opening.
I take off the Pinky's pocket and I put it up. Like, I'll set it on the ground.
So who's going to be the one going into the town? Are you going into the town, Donkey, or just flying over, then beckoning us over there? And then we're
I'll
beckoning
go
over
in
there?
as a small bird.
I go, yeah, trust you. Figure it out. I go into the bag.
I thought you were the one that would be wearing it.
Carnival is here. The ferrets sort of pile on top of
Aren't
each
you
other.
wearing
He
it?
comes
No, I
back
don't
to
know.
a
Alright,
person
hold
again,
on.
and
So who's
Get
wearing the
back
ring
out
to
here.
who's wearing the ring to get beckoned in to Funky?
Yeah, this plan is not yet complete. Let's finish the plan, and then we'll go in the bag. Plan first, bag second.
Pop my head up.
I mean, Crow, do you
It's
have,
like,
do you have
this is what you feel
it's like right next to Panky. Yeah.
do you have a ring from the beckoning collection?
You guys gave me one.
There were 6 in total. Jurg has 1.
Okay, yeah. So
Who had the other? Tim?
I think, no, Kunbara.
So you guys gave me
Kunbara
from
might.
Tim's.
Okay, then yeah, Kunbara, I guess has it. I'll look that up later. But this group does have them.
okay, well then I guess
Yeah.
Crow, maybe you're the lightest one. Maybe
I'll
you should
take
go.
my ring off and I'll be like, will we give it to somebody?
No. keep the ring on.
So I guess, Crow, we're going to put the bag on you, and then you're going to be teleported to Thunky's position?
Yes, but we gotta figure out an exit plan. Maybe we can do the same on the way out, or you said we can teleport to someone else.
We could. Unky could cast the poof cloud on us prior to going in, and then if we get captured, we could just turn into clouds and then go through the bars.
If they shut you out of the cloud.
Good plan. I don't know why you're laughing. It's a good plan.
It's maniacal laughing coming from the skies.
It's a
What?
good plan.
Everybody just got a bad feeling about the plan that was being said. No, don't have a bad feeling. It's a good idea, and I'll leave it at that.
What if
So I
I
guess-
fly as a... I mean, do we really have any business in Bresh? Or do we just need to get into Bresh to get to one of the other teleportation
We don't even
spots?
need to go into brush.
Exactly.
We're just trying to make peace.
What if I just fly to one of... What's the name of that? Begins with an A, where we need to go?
Aquiago.
Aquiago.
What if I fly towards Aquiago, pass over the main town of Bresh, and then you guys just teleport there?
It would take us 5 days to teleport there.
Not with the current plan of just putting everybody in Piggy's pocket and teleporting there. But we have to know
We can
exactly
just
when
Be
we're
turned
there.
in. Our goal is to get into Bresh. If our goal is not to get into Bresh, then why are we can just
Isn't
leave. We
Aquiago
can just
like-
go. We can just go to Aquiago. We don't need to go through this city.
Hold on here.
We
No, I
can go
thought-
around
Hold
it.
I
on,
thought we
guys.
had to
Bresh
go-
attacked us. There's a lot of armed people here.
We could just
Seems
go.
like there's been a change of guard. Oh.
We can just go around.
I
This
thought it
isn't
was
our
something
business
You
right
don't
now.
think that it would be
It's not our
just
business.
as you wanted the guard to do his job? We are,
We
trying
have-
to be the protectors of Orenbelle. Don't you think we should figure out what's going on here and then report that to Kunbara?
Yes, we definitely should. But our goal is
So
to get to
that-
Aquiago, to get the power source, to kill Koltessa.
And
That is the
ignore, and
ultimate
ignore
goal.
this issue.
This is an issue where
They know that Oren
It is-
the Obliterate has tried to sneak into their town. That was your doing. I think that we
Yep.
should at least let Kunbara know what is going on here.
we could send. Could you send?
Both are our goals.
Could
I
you send
suppose-
him?
Yeah, so I was just going to send some message to Quenzel real quick to just check where he's at.
Okay.
Just like, hold on a second. Shh. Quenzel. We are outside of Bresh. We would like to know your position. That's 12, so
You're good. You don't have to use the full.
I guess I'll, Are we still friends?
I don't know.
I say this
You
right
hear
twice.
you hear this burst, like as soon as the connection ends from your side, you hear this burst into your mind of course we're friends! I need to get his voice back
Yeah,
again.
it definitely wasn't that squirrel's voice. That's the squirrel's voice.
Is Bixby back?
What was God? This is fool's voice. What is Quenzel?
Quenzel's got drunk one time.
Crazy bird
You know.
voice.
Whatever.
Wasn't it like
I'll retcon
Didgeridoo
this.
Doodle Dangles?
Yeah, but I can't do that for some reason. It just turns into Vool right now.
Oh.
Well now, Varkir! Take out well now. He just says, Varkir! How could you ever think we're not friends? A bit busy right now in the floating forest. And he sounds like in duress. And he has, let's see, 3 words left.
Come help.
It's did you say you were by Bresh?
Yes.
Okay. We could use. Yeah, we could use.
I think
He's,
Quenzel.
he's never used this before. That was me trying to understand like the amount of words. He just says all this in a slew. Like he has no concept of what.
Quenzel needs help, it looks like. He's in the floating forest. Remember where we got the sacks for the Unigoth? We'd probably go there and help him out. It'll be easier to get into Bresh with maybe help.
Well, I could transform into an Unagoth.
And we just go there? I think that's a better plan than anything we're doing right now. Quetzal is a good tool. I think we should use him.
Is the plan to come back to Bresh?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
We just need more allies.
If you all
Friendly
feel that
reminder,
Bresh needs to be
Kunbara
handled
sent
now,
us here to make peace with Bresh.
We might be able to do that through Quetzal.
can you do another message to Kunbara and tell her?
Oh my god.
All right, my
Why don't they just invent cell phones?
my head
Invent
is my head is hurting a little, but yes, I can do that.
To
So.
say
Beep.
Bresh under new control, hostile towards Oren's Obliterate.
Okay, I guess he strains himself again. Kunbara. Bresh's circumstances are a little different now.
A little is 2 words.
A little different now. A hostile force is in control. Please advise.
How many words do you have left?
That was 10,
4?
15, 16. I think that was 17 words.
Hostile towards us.
Isn't that what hostile
Count
means?
it.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's why I have
Tell her
6,
to
7
double
more words
security.
left.
Double security.
They have double security?
No.
3 words?
And it's gone.
There's 3 words left.
You just hear back,
Orenbelle.
double security!
Orenbelle security.
Please say it's not true.
Orenbelle security. They have double security. Orenbelle security.
Varkir, have they formed a fighting
Jesus.
force to destroy Oren's Obliterate?
I guess I'll redo the message again.
What?
This is great.
Who commands the hostile force? Do we mobilize? War? Question mark.
Nobody is. Actually, wait a minute.
Really think
I
about
didn't
this.
listen to the people talking to get any names, so.
I don't know who's in charge. They are.
Hold on, how many?
hostile.
Do you have enough spell? This is your 3rd time
Yeah,
casting?
this is like the last one I think I can. Well, I can do it at a higher level, but this is the lowest level. I'm out of lowest level spells
Do you
for
get
this
more
one.
words at a higher level?
I don't know.
Good question.
That would be dope.
We'll house rule
A
that. You
ninth
get.
level spell.
But yeah, so I guess no idea who's in charge.
Copper armor.
Copper armor, possible war footing. Will contact. Well, that's one word. We'll contact you with more details later.
Say her check loves you.
Hurt. With that, I collapse on my knees like, that's all I can do for that one.
See what more information you can get. Denebron sounds like they have a hold over Bresh.
Denebon?
Denebron.
I just
You
say
guys have heard this.
Denebron has Kunbara says Denebron is in control. I don't remember who that is,
And
but
with their last words, she just says that she will fortify Orenbelle and await.
Very well. She's fortifying Orenbelle and awaiting our reply back in case we are possibly on a war footing with Bresh.
Multiple different things we could do right now.
I'm actually really excited that this happened because you guys are using all of your resources, speaking to characters, like getting more knowledge, and you literally have like this is you just like what the fuck do we do? And this is everything that you're doing just in I don't know together. You failed trying anything else, but getting information has been relatively successful in outreaching.
Go to the floating forest. You sneak into brush, or sneak down to brush, do recon, or poof into brush.
We could do both. Yep.
Carnigal, after you mentioned Denebron, says, I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. These are definitely forces from Denebron. It had seemed weird in Bresh, but the last I had heard they were trying to negotiate a trade deal, and they were going to protect the routes of Bresh, the trade routes of Bresh. I can't make a conclusion as to why they're appearing in the way that they are now, fighting Oren's Obliterate on behalf of Bresh. That part does not make sense to me, though.
Well, before they did shoot an arrow and a monster came out of it. I'm not sure why a monster came out of a bird, but it did. Pretty interesting looking monster as well.
Roll an intelligence check.
Oh. 19.
Does
That sentence sort of makes you think and remember the note that you received.
Pierce the bird of 8 paths. Or pierce the bird with the arrow for 8 paths or something. Yes. Zapdash gave me that letter.
Her check?
Ganon, no, come on.
What's he doing?
There's like, I don't know.
Oh, he's trying to lick up the...
No, he's just stepping on it. I feel like he'll cut his paw or something.
Sorry. Her check? Were you doing something?
Does the name Cleopatra, the huntress, ring any bells with you, Carnigal?
We encountered her on our way here. What I know before that instance is she made quite a name for herself in Bresh.
Does she have ties
I'd only
to
heard
Denebron?
rumors. Not that I know of. She was mainly a component of Bresh. She was, that I know, one of the best guides and bounty hunters in the city. She was very well renowned.
Not anymore.
Just pull out her head like...
I don't remember her having a particularly poor reputation of being ruthless or untrustworthy. Her situation piques my interest as well.
I just want to, ask somebody, so are we going to go help Quenzel out? He has been a powerful ally before. He should work again. I mean, his drunken whirlwind attack killed a bunch of those bears. Injured a bunch of those bears for us easily. Went back in the Incinder Forest.
He's died like 16 times.
He did, but we brought him back. He kept being useful.
Thanks to Barkir. Okay, so
Wouldn't be in the position
Luckily-
if Parker didn't do
Luckily,
most
his
of the
ship
shit he
isn't
did.
broken anymore.
also, what is Quenzel, this Quenzel character that you're talking about, doing in the floating forest? That place is known to be a hellscape.
We took him there before we disappeared.
It's a veritable Underdark on top of the world.
We took him
We
there.
went there for the sacks for his
Belbanu
ship.
sacks?
The Belbanu sacks. We killed a couple Lunagoth, got the sacks, flew into the sport. It was a Carnigal. You've
It was
been
a
gone for
journey.
a while.
It was a journey.
We've been there.
Still doesn't exactly answer my question.
He may be gone back there to get more
Sacks for his
sacks for
ship.
his ship. He has a very good fighter with him. I believe it was Spectrum here, the name, or was muted like.
He turns around, just starts scribbling in a journal, and then shuts it, puts it in his cloak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just gives this like.
Do we know which way the floating forest is? Do we remember?
Yeah, you can actually, you can see the nodding fog, because remember, out of the western gate of Bresh is where you had to leave to go to. Not like anybody remembers this, but you had to take the path that led to Felnor, the city of sleep, that pretty much lives in the nodding fog, and you can see that fog still sort of almost just like being kept at bay from the gates of Bresh. And you notice that people at the western gate are wearing their cloaks, their Olishen cloaks as well. And the fog sort of climbs up the mountain and disappears the higher the mountain gets, but in another sort of canyoned path.
All right. Yeah, so whenever we're ready, we can go, I guess. We need to do whatever we need to do here. So.
Yeah, looks like recon was a success. The more information we have, the more comfortable I will feel as well. Hopefully this Quenzel person can fulfill the promises that you're...
I wouldn't count on him being too willing to be helpful, but he
could be
he
persuaded.
can easily persuaded, yes.
Donkey. Quenzel.
Gwenzel?
Do you trust him?
Yeah. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, just
He's weird. But he's good.
an Eric Cocker, I would say, if you know the type.
Okay, so we're about to mist again. Is this true?
Are we misting again?
We could mist over
We should,
to...
wait for Crow to get back from his restroom facilities. Irritable
Is he
bowel.
restrooming or is Ganon going out?
Ganon was supposed to go out, but
He probably took a poop too.
yeah.
A robotic poop. Little metal cubes
A
coming out.
bit late, if you ask me. We already had our break.
Metal poop. No one can destroy the metal.
Yeah, we're just gonna we're
metal
gonna
strikes
wait for
down
Crow.
with
Be right back.
vicious blow. We are the
I'll probably call it after if whatever the next decision is made and the step towards that decision is taken. We'll cut it. This is like the very first time that you guys have, I think, been forced to actually think way outside of the box that's located just in front of you.
And I'm using
So I'm happy about it. Wasn't planning for you guys to get.
I'm having to use spells that I never thought I'd ever use. I just put them in there because they were there.
I mean, yeah, that's a super important message, and that just means that I need to be on my game as to what everybody is up to all the time. Would you stop it?
Sitting on the one green patch. The one green patch in all the land. Just lording over it.
What? You almost killed a squirrel? He's that fast? You bitch.
It's all I can do.
We can only kill babies.
God damn.
We're gonna cut that part out. I'm gonna make a very loud and annoying sound, and we're gonna start again. And then we're going to end it as soon as you guys make your next decision and take a step in that direction. All right, I'm sorry.
Oopsies.
Never mind. Okay, so we're back now. I think you guys have just got done talking to Kunbara and Quenzel. You have decided that the floating forest is your next destination, where you will find out more. from Quencel, as he seems to be in a predicament, at least under duress. What are you guys doing? What are you?
Well,
I say we go help Quenzel. I mean, he's a valuable ally.
Should we mist over to Quinzel?
how far away is the floating forest from here?
You would be able to make it in one mist journey. You'd have some time to spare. Yeah.
Yes, but I think we should mist together, stay together, and unmist together.
Hand signals.
Unmissed on the deck of Quenzel's ship.
If he has a ship, yes.
Is there anything else that we need to think about while in these mist forms? Thunky, you hold mastery over this domain of magic. Is there any way that we can communicate with each other? I feel like that was our grave downfall. I tried to reach out my hand and yell for Herchek to stop, but fell on intense winds.
Wow, would that be death winds?
You have resistance to damage from non-magical weapons.
Nice.
Nice.
You can dash, and you can also revert back to your normal form.
We can revert back to our...
It took me about a minute. Take that into consideration.
Then I would recommend if somebody absolutely needs to say something to the others, try and fly ahead and find a safe position to then just come out of gas form.
Agreed.
If we can spare a minute, then this works. If we can't, then it doesn't.
I have an idea of something, but it has to be in cloud form.
Right, so we can't.
But your thoughts will be cloudy.
No, we can't do spells in cloud form yet.
To attack? What? I'm sorry, what were you saying, Rick here?
You can't do spells in cloud form, can you?
No, you cannot. As I said, if you do have telepathy, I will allow you to use telepathy, but it has to be like a natural, like a passive ability.
Yeah, that's what
I will say if you cast it on yourself and there's a time limit, your spells, in whatever way it makes sense for them to manifest, will continue in the cloud form. So like if you cast telepathy on yourself, I'm not sure if that's a spell actually, then you go into cloud form, you can speak for the duration of the telepathy spell. But you can't, and if you do like if you give yourself a buff or something, it'll last in the cloud form as long as you can, but will still have no offensive or even sort of like, you still can only be a cloud, if that makes sense. They would all have to be just passive abilities. There's not a lot of rules for the clouds, so the Windwalk spell is subject to a lot of house rules. Okay, so thank you. You're casting Windwalk. Are you guys on your way?
What elevation would you guys like to float at?
I think same as before was fine.
Yeah, above the tree line.
Yes.
Well then, are we all ready?
Am I a cloud?
No.
I think maybe we should
Thunky-
try and act like clouds if we are within the presence of
Oh, then I nailed it.
sentience. Yeah.
Wait, that worked out for me.
Penke just goes, oh, so we're just fine. His arm shrinks. I didn't want you
I give him
to come into my pocket
I
anyway.
hand him 10 gold anyways. Like, thank you for the consideration, Donkey or Pinky.
How dare you?
It's always good doing business with you, Vakir. I merely need to say a few words and I get rewarded.
I'll add 10 gold to my...
I'm just gonna pet him.
Really?
He stays as long as you're willing to pet him.
Like Ganon. It's like,
10 seconds. 10 seconds of petting.
All right, are we ready to go? Let's meet this Quencel, this legendary pilot.
no one said he was legendary.
Legendary was the exact adjective that you used.
I think we're ready.
Thunky, do the work.
Let's all put our hands in the middle so we can all signify that we're ready.
Is this what it's like to be a part of a team?
Put my hand
It's
in
kind
the
of
middle.
nice.
Cloud hands.
Alright, here we go.
Poof.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you for joining us, SASANs! What will happen next time? We'll pick up there next time on SASANs and Dragons. It worked out so well, them starting out as clouds last time. I figured we'll do it again. What is Quencel doing in the floating forest? What has happened to Bresh? What is Vool's predicament? What are Carnigal's thoughts of the current company he keeps?
What was Kunbara doing when we talked to her?
Let's find out next time. You just hear flapping of wet meat. Let's find out next time on SASANs and Dragons. As always, SASANs until fate next brings us together. And never stop playing role-playing games. I heard that crow.
夜明け生まれ来るものよ決して見失わないで You are you 少女よ今こそ振りほどき立ち上がれ
I said SASANs too early. Let's do that one more time.
Your hands are sweaty.
Huh?
Your hands are sweaty.
Why you gotta call him out on that? Some people find that very.
It was like noticeable to where afterwards I was like, why does my hand feel like...
Wait, touch my hand? Is that sweaty?
It's like moist.
It's not really.
No?
Certainly not
Is it
dry.
my hand?
But it's. No. Well,
It was weird.
We just found a space in the air that was a little bit more moist
There's
than
condensation
both of
there.
your hands were
We
warm.
pushed it together.
Like, honestly, you
We
were
just
like,
did alchemy.
Your palm felt a little.
You're the moist
Oh,
one.
man.
Okay. All right. What?
Who's moist here?
I am, of course. I am always moist.
It's true.
But not in my hands. That's why she's crazy.
Nipples and earlobes.
Moist lobes. Nip. But never mind.
Moist.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Keep my.
All right.
Coming
You
out your
should
nipples.
keep this in there.
Yeah.
Blooper reels.
Yerps. Derps. And.
Start doing that at the end of the episode. Yeah. All right, get the whale cum on here.
Welcome, SASANs, to the least exciting opening. What was that about? It was literally just like, come on, guys.
Caught me off guard. I thought you were going like full, like, you know, diving into the.
You gotta
tiny
be into
little
it. You gotta be ready
universe.
for anything.
I don't know. You were
Now
doing.
I just feel like
you were doing
going
like
wickedly
ants
over exaggerated, but then I'd be like a dick move.
with bugs to ants, and then I thought you were gonna work your way up through the
I also thought you were gonna
animal.
start over.
Well, we
I was
don't.
Like, it's starting over.
We don't have the energy for this.
I did start over,
We'll
and I'm
record
starting
it.
over again.
We'll record tomorrow.
Ah, it's sucking me in.
Oh my god!
Welcome,
This is why we never know when to do it.
SASANs.